Greetings, everyone. I guess we are live. I'm going to be using StreamYard tonight because we might have some guests. So who do we have here? We have Gordy Skypum, Keck44, Larry. Thanks for being a member, Larry. Lame Joker, North American Ham Rammer. What's up? Mark Hunt, Mismatched Sock, Bill the Cat, Alabama. What's this? Alabama Wyatt, Vicious Sheer. And then we have Maverick. We have Red Ring of Death, Trevor Yount, Gordy Sky Mop. Maybe I said that. Father Christopher Miller. No cussing, everybody. We have an actual father here. A good father. Blasted Heath, Eric Hawk, Fuel the Hatred, and a lot of other people. Hi. Welcome, everybody. I am waiting on a possible... There he is, right there. What's up?
You said no cussing, so I don't know if I can be here. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, we have. Oh, you can make it.
What's going on, man?
What's up, brother?
Not much, man. We got a little bit to talk about tonight.
We do, and that's why I couldn't skip the Nooner. So usually this is at around lunchtime somewhere. But the power was out of my house most of the night last night, and then my freaking car broke down today. So,
oh, man,
yeah, everything's cool. You know, I just it's fixed. We're back in business, but we're just doing this late. But this is a huge day. This is a huge day, Jeremy. And I'm glad you're here. And we can, if we want to find a couple of the people to join us, that would be cool too.
Whoa! Blasted Heath. Does Jeremy know they can fly now? What is this source? They can fly now? They can fly now?
They can fly now? I believe I can fly.
They can fly now, everybody.
They can fly now, especially when they're on the back of some quad that pushes them up in the back. What the hell is that? That is such a Jar Jar Abrams thing to do. There's no practicality whatsoever. And I believe they've been able to fly for a while. And so
yeah.
I figured the Mandalorians could do it, so could the Empire.
It's such nonsense. But you want me to get anybody else in here?
Sure.
Let me see who I can get. Let me see who's available.
Hey, did I see QuarterBlack in there?
Yes. Yeah. Get him on here. You want to join us, QuarterBlack?
QuarterBlack, I'm sending you an invite, brother. And yeah, get whoever you want. So this is we're kind of fast and loose on the stream. But you know, hail the Fandom Menace. It's been a hell of a week. And a hell of a day. And I mean, it's still early. There is a lot that can still happen. And I'm guessing the Access Media is going to sharpen their knives. And I think we should be ready for that very soon.
I'm uploading a video here soon tonight because there's another Comic Book Resources wrote an article, lying about the Fandom Menace, saying that the only reason the Fandom Menace is happy with the Mandalorian and Jedi Fallen Order is because it's following the path of men. And it's like, dude, there are people in the Fandom Menace that don't love the Mandalorian. There's people in the Fandom Menace that won't even support Fallen Order because it's an EA product. They are scared of the Fandom Menace because the Fandom Menace is exactly what they claim that they are, but they know that they're not. The Fandom Menace is a diverse group of people. The Fandom Menace is not an echo chamber. The Fandom Menace is all about individuality. The Fandom Menace is all about inclusion. And the reason we are about those things is because we don't advertise those things. We don't define ourselves on these things. It's just how it ended up being. It's just nonsense. I'm so sick and tired of this shit.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. We are about
stuff. No cussing.
You see, we did it. Sorry, Father. You can damn him to the fiery place. And Father Christopher Miller says, speaking of knives, may knives out bomb, and may it bomb. And by the way, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Spend time with your family. You know, that thing that Hollywood hates. Spend time with your dad, with your mom, with your siblings. Or you could spend time with your 8 blue-haired roommates piercing each other. I don't know, whatever you want to do. But the Access Media, yeah, they're going to be sharpening their knives. They're going to be coming after us. And, well, it's already happening. And The Mandalorian, yeah, I mean, you know, it's good. It doesn't mean I endorse Disney. But the Fandom Menace is all those things. We are the healing of the fandom. You know, if we're trying to bring the fandom together. All are welcome here. You can like The Last Jedi. I don't give a crap. You're welcome here. We're not the ones trying to push people away. We're not trying to break off groups. That's divisive right there. We're trying to be all encompassing, all things, because we're not anything. We're just fans. We're just fans.
That's right. That's right.
And that's why we're winning right now. And now listen, it's a battle. Okay. It's just a battle. It's not the war. And there's so much more to do after the Rise of Skywalker, especially in January. If you're a fan of Doctor Who or Star Trek, it's only just begun, really. So yeah. And we still got a month to go, or 3 weeks to go till Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah. And I mean, it's only going to get worse. You know, from here in terms of the slander and the lies and everything that they're going to be pushing out, because it's just ridiculous. I do want to give a quick shout out to the Fandom Collective. I just uploaded a video to the Fandom Collective. I sent a video over to them, and I just want to raise some awareness for them. Those guys are really good guys that do a lot to support different content creators. You know, the points I made in my video was talking about how, you know, that struggle from that, from your first sub to your 1,000th sub, that's the biggest, that's the hardest part of being a YouTuber right there, is finding your audience. And the Fandom Collective has done that for a lot of content creators. And if you go to their Twitter account, they're uploading every single video from everybody. They're plugging them. And that means the world to someone that's just starting out, when you've got somebody that's got your back and out there sharing your stuff, because it makes you feel like I got a chance to get recognized today. So I just want to give those guys a shout out. Fandom Collective. So they're great.
Yes. Hail the Fandom Collective and everybody involved in this stuff, and anybody who's ever shouted us out. And yeah, it took me years to get to 1,000. I was so happy. I ran down to YouTube, because YouTube's only 6 miles away from me, and I shot a little video in front of YouTube, like, I made it to 1,000. I was so freaking happy. And yeah, it's, you know, you work for this. We've worked for this. So,
yeah.
You know, and keep at it. You know, I heard the author, Stephen Walton, he did a great video today about the Fandom Menace. And he said what you just said. It doesn't matter how many subs you are. Keep making content. Like, this is your time. This is it. And if, you know, if it doesn't happen now, don't worry. If you stay at it, if you're consistent, it grows. So, yeah.
And thank you to, according to Christy, for sharing the link to the Fandom Collective. Appreciate that. And I know they will too.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. And we will, you know, I've got the chat up. That's why I'm using StreamYard, so I can invite people in. I generally don't. My connection sucks on StreamYard. That's going to change because we're getting fiber optic in two weeks.
Why does your connection suck for StreamYards? I'm interested in that.
Okay, so because I'm in San Francisco and we don't have.
Well, that's the root of all your problems.
Yes.
So go ahead.
No. Our cable lines are like 15 years old, and they haven't changed them, and they're above ground, so they can't dig here because I'm on bedrock, so everything's above ground, and we're the last neighborhood to get it. Okay. And but now we're getting fiber optic in 2 weeks. So look at this, look at whoa
oh, superstars in the house.
What's going on? Now it's a freaking party, right? That's what I'm talking about.
Now
what's going on, fellas? What's going on?
We needed some Baby Yoda hate representation. So.
Hell yeah. God, yeah, exactly. These guys clearly don't know what they're talking about. Everybody loves the Mandalorian. Oh,
everybody.
Yeah, every single person. I put in the chat in all caps. I hope I didn't get timed out. I think whatever Jeremy tells me to think.
I did see whatever he pays you to think.
Yes, exactly.
Oh yeah, we had to go over that before I went live. Right after I gave him a cut of my pay. So you know,
I had to sign an NDA just to get on here.
Yeah, he did. And again, Quarter, let's cut that talk out. All right, that's not part of the NDA. Okay, you're not supposed to talk about it.
Yeah, you can't disclose the NDA.
You can't disclose the NDA. You've already effed it up.
Did you have to sign an NDA for the NDA? I didn't know about that.
Yeah. Hey, look, I'm just telling you what Twitter says. I don't know about this stuff. Okay. So
hey, I want to give QuarterBlack props for his painting skills. I don't know if anybody saw the Steven Crowder Epstein did not kill himself video. QuarterBlack is painting the walls. Very, very well done.
Took me hours all day long, every day for a whole week. Just roller after roller.
And that acting moved me. It moved me.
Thank you. I really try.
Beautiful.
I think I deserve an Oscar. I mean, honestly.
It's very brave and stunning. And
Thank you.
as we all know, if you can somehow work into the storyline that you chopped something off and you're identifying as something else, you definitely will get that Oscar.
For sure.
Sir, sir or ma'am, whatever you choose to identify as. I'm here to respect pronouns. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's right. El Capone. This is the way. This is the way.
Oh man.
I wonder when that became the way. All through, you know, Clone Wars and Rebels, you got Mandalorians taking their helmets off every 5 freaking minutes. But yeah, this is the way now, guys. Thanks,
welcome to resident EU douchebag who has to pick everything apart. So
I'm just saying. I do feel like I just hate on it all the time. I like the show. I'm just, you know, I'm not ready to jump ship yet. Not ready to jump ship. I have to like pretend like I'm against it, right? So we have one dissenting voice in the Fandom Menace. That's what I was told today.
Well,
congratulations! You want credit for disagreeing with one thing?
Yes.
Well, Mecha Random's very vocal too, and her dislike of it. And there's other people. Again, the point is that these people are never going to be happy. You just have to use their stupidity against them, because that's the never-ending thing. They will always produce stupidity. QuarterBlack knows this better than anyone with what you guys do on Louder with Crowder. You guys know this better than anyone. Their stupidity is endless. It is an endless rabbit hole of stupidity. So don't try to change their mind. Don't worry about arguing anything of substance with them. Just use their stupidity against them, and it will make you rich and famous. It will.
Right. You can't fight them. You can't fight them because their goalposts are constantly shifting between person to person, between time of day or time of week. They want different things, different times. You can't. You never. Just don't bow down. Do what you want to do, and you do you.
Yep, that's it.
All they'll do is just if you give them an inch, they're going to take a mile. They're going to take that mile, and then they're going to take another one, and they're going to take another one. All they're going to do is they're going to see you, and they're going to see that you are weak. If you back down and you say, "Oh, I'm sorry," they're just going to go. They're not going to see it as, "Oh, they're caring and they care about our feelings." They're just going to go, "Oh, look, he's weak. We can push them further. Let's push them further, and further." So,
that's it. That's absolutely it.
Now, there is no peak stupidity with the Access media. It is endless. It is infinite. So we can, and like you said, if you they don't have respect for themselves. Respect isn't in their wheelhouse, so they will never have it for us. And I don't need it, frankly. The Access media screwing up is why we exist right now. Is we fill a need. Because we actually had the fans back. You know, the Access media, that's their purpose. They were supposed to, they're supposed to be information for the fans. Okay. They're supposed to have the fans back, and yes, it's entertainment, but there was a time when entertainment media was very adversarial. Well, I can't speak right now. It was adversarial.
When Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers is correcting you, you got a problem.
Hey, I got kicked out of 3 high schools. You just dropped out. You quit. Okay, I wanted to stay, but they didn't even want me around. Adversarial. It was adversarial, and they would have to do little side deals and stuff, and it was actually kind of fun. LA Confidential is a good film on that. But no, they've been kind of soft lately. Frankly, I think I've been waiting for something bad to happen, and we haven't had it yet. Like some hit piece on somebody personal, but it's not been any site that's big or any of them anymore.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
You got. I don't want to pull the article out. I want to wait till your video comes up for the CBR thing. But
no, go ahead. It's fine. It's just one little clip. Me. I'm just ranting around it. Go ahead and pull it up. It's fine.
You tweeted it out. You tweeted out the thing. Hours ago.
Instead of pulling up the article, just go to my Twitter timeline and scroll down.
No clicks for them.
Yeah, no clicks for those.
That's a good idea. It's
a little ways away. I've been tweeting up a storm today with all the Trump memes and the mental breakdown of the far left.
It was doctored.
It was doctored.
Jeremy, it was doctored.
I've never seen a freaking website like actually break down a meme and try to get the psychological, like, okay, we're not clear as to what the meaning of this was, and it's clearly it appears to be doctored. It appears to be from. I was like, oh my, it's a meme. Oh my gosh, it's a meme. Like
the OK Boomer meme was made for these people.
It so was. Oh man.
I'd like to see a breakdown every time someone shares the one of him when Trump gets photoshopped for John Daly and he looks just like a huge fat ass golfer. Yeah, but no breakdowns for those, unfortunately.
You may send it to you, Gary, because I've tweeted a lot today.
Well, yeah, I see send it to me.
Okay.
But I see the main thing. But while everything is safe, there's another reason the vocal Fandom Menace hasn't complained about the new Star Wars, and that's because both the Mandalorian and Fallen Order focus on the exploration of men. Yeah, because they want to make money.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
People are crazy, man.
No, it's just this is why I understand some of the rage
for inbox on Twitter
for Baby Yoda, because it sounded like, to me anyway, maybe it's my expectations, we were sold something a lot different with the Mandalorian, a little more intricate, a little more sophisticated show, an hour long with solid characterization, actual dialogue. And what we got was a really, really damn good cartoon. I mean, that's what it is.
Live action cartoon. Yeah. Yeah.
And Baby Yoda was the Disney-fication of it, like, immediately. The first episode, but I still like Yoda, though. I still like Baby Yoda. I do.
Dude, have you seen all these accounts that have been created in the last couple of days? The Brie Larson account.
Yes.
I love them.
So now the Brie Larson account is actually screenshotting our DMs, and of course I won't answer the person.
Oh, no.
And the Bob, like every few hours, I'll open my other inbox, and it's just spam messages from Kevin Feige, Bob Iger, Kathleen Kennedy, Brie Larson, and someone else. I'm like, this is the best thing ever. But that's what I tweeted right there. So
yes, but while everything is safe, there is another reason the vocal Fandom Menace hasn't complained about the new Star Wars, and that's because both the Mandalorian, and I'm not calling him Mando anymore, I'm calling him just Man, and Fallen Order focus on the exploration of men, like this is some sort of sin. Like this is something bad, like that fandom and genre and science fiction weren't built on this. And, this is some of that, I'm sorry, but it's some of that communist speak. We're exploring, we're dividing everybody up into groups, and we're exploring everything from just one perspective. It's an individual perspective by the individual writer in some cases, or a writer's room, usually these days. And yeah, you got to have a perspective of your main character. And since half the planet is men, I guess you're going to explore that once in a while. And that's not a bad thing. And that's what listen, the thing here in the Fandom Menace is it's not like we want the women to go away. They can be part of this too. What's been happening though, is, like I said in my last video, the way you dispatched Han Solo, he didn't die with honor. He died like an idiot. He went back to the smuggler's life in his 70s. He abandoned his wife. He abandoned his kid. He sold Luke's medal for drinking money. I mean, you just piled on Han and then killed him. That's what we have a problem with.
Yeah.
Well,
sure.
yeah, and
hang on. Hey, I just want to highlight this one comment because Jana RL1 at DDayCobra, Jeremy, the trolls in the Fandom Menace channel comments are getting bad. All you guys and gals are really hitting nerves. That is so accurate right now. Like, we are getting trolled to hell and back right now. And it's clear that when that happens, it's because you're making a difference. Go ahead though, Ryan, my bad.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. You saw as soon as all the stuff started breaking yesterday with JJ coming out and saying that, all of the anti-Fandom Menace people just started spurting out hardcore. But as far as this, I saw somebody comment in chat, it was a great point. this is completely true. That's why we all went out and supported Solo, because it was based on a man, from a man's perspective. So we all went out, we made Solo a huge hit. We didn't go and see Rogue One. No one went and saw Rogue One because it was a woman lead. So obviously, whoever wrote this article, spot on. I can't believe no one saw this sooner.
Yeah,
exactly.
Eagle eye right there.
Oh, and as you remember, when Solo failed, the King Shill himself, I don't even know if it's proper. I guess disrespectful to kings to call this person a king, but Scott Mendelson of Forbes wrote an article talking about, does this prove that white men are not as box office poison? Are white men leads at the box office poison? And then what?
Joker? I don't know if you
exactly
movie called Joker.
Exactly. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable.
Wow.
Dude,
this is what they do.
The Hollywood Reporter tried to insinuate that with Dr. Sleep, because it bombed the week after Terminator Dark Fate without mentioning Dark Fate at all, without mentioning its budget, without mentioning the women. It just goes, what's the problem with Dr. Sleep? Is there Hollywood fatigue? Well, yeah, there is. There's fatigue of everything. It's happening. I mean, I heard it was a good movie. I don't want to judge that movie. I didn't see it, but it didn't do well because people are tired of Hollywood. And this is part of the Me Too Time's Up era, but it goes before that. I'm covering Watchmen. The last episode was the most the most woke thing I've ever seen, ever seen. And it was a giant apology to Oscar's So White. It was just Damon Lindelof personally taking it on for the entirety of Hollywood to apologize for Oscar's So White. That's all it was. It was superficial. It was exploitive. It was bad. I could barely get through reviewing it. And it's one of those things that I probably wouldn't even have touched 2 or 3 years ago, because, if anybody had been watching my channel, which they weren't, I would have probably got ran out of Dodge. But now it's because of Dave Chappelle and because of other channels, it's now, we can now speak about this stuff, which is good. And we need to keep doing that, because it's just another form of censorship trying to silence us all the time. And unfortunately, they can't stop it now. And Jar Jar Abrams saying the Fandom Menace he wasn't being nice, but it doesn't matter. The fact that it came flying out of his pie hole, we were legitimate anyway, but it validated the Fandom Menace, and it was beautiful. Oh my God, it was so great.
And it was a loaded question from Matt Miller, who I did a video on this today. I kind of focused the first half of it all on Matt Miller, and what a garbage human he is, because he has wrote some of the worst stuff that's been said about us, including an article almost a year ago today, just labeling the Fandom Menace as the worst things you could possibly imagine. And so it was a loaded question coming from this dude. Not sure how he is the one that ended up getting an interview with J.J. Abrams. It seems puzzling to me that have someone who's so completely unprofessional be the person to do it. But he did it. He loaded it up, and J.J. fired the gun. And we had fun, so we celebrated.
Yeah.
Yes, and Matt Miller, who has gone after individual YouTubers. With his platform, backed by a giant, I'm guessing, multi-million-dollar, maybe billion-dollar company, Esquire. It used to be a big deal 20 years ago. And yeah, he went after our friend Doomcock. So we won't forget that.
Nope, not at all. I was watching a little bit of Doomcock's video earlier today about that. And I'd forgot about that until Doomcock reminded me. So again, man, it doesn't aggravate me. Nothing that they do aggravates me, because it just, the more that they go after us and the more that they push these lies, it's just proof that we're winning, and they're getting desperate, and it's hilarious. And I've told everybody, the closer we get to the Rise of Skywalker, the more this is going to pick up, because the more desperate they're going to become, because they feel like they have to discredit people that they're intimidated by. It's like they talk about that. How we're obsessed over a Space Wizard movie. Isn't that their lingo? The Space Wizard garbage. Yeah. And it's like
laser swords.
You guys are the ones that are obsessed with it. You guys are the ones that are like constantly preemptively spreading lies about people simply that have opinions that you don't like. You know, it's just
if you don't like the supposedly space wizard kid film, you're a racist, bigot, sexist. Like, if it's such a small thing, then why do you care about it so much?
Yep, exactly.
Oh, and if there's no agenda in it, why didn't Matt Miller ask Jar Jar directly about the progressive messages in there? And this is Hollywood progressive. Okay, this is a very particular type of progressive. So I guess that that does exist in there. I guess we're not seeing things. Oh, and there were reshoots, and they just I don't know. Did they finish locking down the film on Sunday, or did they finish filming?
I don't even know. I mean,
at this point, who knows?
And do we believe that the whole Boyega misplacing the script is a publicity stunt? Like, why would they even put that out there? I don't understand why that. Yeah, I don't understand why that gets out there, because let's just assume, okay, if the person that found it was intelligent enough to know that they could make a lot of money on the internet by this, then I'm going to have to assume that this person was also smart enough to make copies, you know, or whatever. And according to Disney, according to JJ, someone with Disney saw the listing and bought it, and I just find that hard to believe. I mean, again, it's not it's not completely impossible, but the bigger question I have is, why are they publicizing this close to the release of The Rise of Skywalker?
I think it was JJ covering his ass.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
I think it was JJ covering his ass, because whatever leaks end up being true, I'm sure some of them will be, because they have been in the past. Game of Thrones were, I mean, almost dead on. Yeah. So
it just seems like such a stupid thing, like for it to be up there, and they're like, well, the person didn't really know what they had because it was only listed for like £65, around like just under $100 on
How
eBay.
do you not know what you have?
If you didn't know what you had, then why would you put it up for so much? You're just selling paper. But at the same time, if I had that, I would be asking more, I suppose, and I probably wouldn't put it up on eBay.
It's it's a really strange story. It's a really strange story. It's strange that JJ, Mr. Mystery Box, Mr. Everything's so secretive, Mr. This, all of a sudden, like, he's publicly putting that information out there. Again, they're getting a lot of media traction off this story. I feel like this is again, I just feel like there's more to it. So I don't know.
There is. There is. That is weird. The first time when I first heard it, I'm like, why would you even say anything?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, there's no benefit. It makes you look dumb unless you're covering your ass. And, you know, JJ, I guess he cares a little bit. He's got to do his press, and then he's on to ruining Superman and Green Lantern and Batman.
Well, hey, at this point, I'll take JJ's over Zack Snyder's. Boom!
Yeah, I'm sure you. Are we actually not swearing or something on here?
We got Father Christopher Miller in the chat, but we can just say earmuffs to Father Christopher Miller at this point, because we've already cussed.
Mad. He's so
all right. Why is
I saw one of your Snyder drones the other day. Going, oh, Jeremy from Geeks Gamers. He says Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers doesn't care about the release of Snyder Cut. Then why is he making a video? I'm like, I made a video to talk about how I'm happy for the Snyder fans. You jack person. I was gonna say something else. I'm trying not because QuarterBlack says bring him back. QuarterBlack says to bring him back.
Oh, sorry. I was just thinking, you know what? I like some Zack Snyder films. So Zack Snyder is a better director than J.J. Abrams.
I like Zack Snyder films.
I almost missed the Zack Snyder conversation.
But I hate his DCEU. It's so bad. I agree. It's like it's Clark.
Is it worse than The Force Awakens?
Yes, Zack Snyder's is worse than The Force Awakens. Yes, yes.
Where's your TLJ video go, Jeremy? Where is it, Jeremy?
I can't go with you there. I don't agree.
It is so bad. Man of Steel is so bad, and BVS is even worse.
So good. BVS theatrical is a little rough because they cut out so much of the damn film. They cut out so many references. Yeah, but I I absolutely adore the director's cut of BVS. I cannot wait until we see the Snyder Cut in all its freaking glory. It's going to be an amazing day when all these people, these same people, the same freaking media is trying to spin this narrative that it doesn't exist instead of listening to the people who are actually involved. Instead of, like, if you don't want to believe Zack Snyder, I get it, because, you know, you can say he's got a lot on the line, I suppose, if you don't want to believe Zack Snyder when he says it's done. But when it's Jason Momoa saying it's done, when it's all the actors in the movie saying to release it, when it's all the people that worked on the movie with him saying that it's done, but it's all the people that didn't work on it, or these unnamed insiders that are like, that's a pipe dream.
Hey, no, again, I'm all for the Snyder Cut releasing, and I do with all of my anti-Snyder DCEU stuff. Like, I genuinely, like I said in my video, I'm genuinely happy for the Snyder fans, the fact that they've been so passionate about this for so long. But my personal stance on it is, I'm not excited to get the third film in a shitty trilogy, because that's all it's going to be.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think it's great that the actors and the director are coming out and supporting the fans that love the movie. You know, I didn't like the movie like at all. I didn't like any of them except for maybe Man of Steel. Kind of okay with that, but the other ones were really bad. But
you liked half of them. Got it. All right.
Yeah. So, I like parts of BVS.
I loved the ending of BVS when it was finally over, man. That was fantastic. It was amazing.
Yeah, I've had major problems with those films, but I do respect that those guys are coming out and they're supporting the fans that love that world, you know? Like, that's what we need. We need more of that.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine being like a release the Snyder Cut person and then seeing Gal Gadot and Jason Momoa and Ben Affleck and then Snyder. I was like, man, like, regardless of how I personally feel, and this is the difference in being one of these people, like the TLJ supporters that just can't understand. Like, again, I hate his DCU, but I am so happy for those fans, because when I saw that, I'm like, dude, Uche and Ryan and Lethal are losing their minds right now over this. Like, I genuinely was a little jealous of you guys when that was happening. I was like, man, these guys are freaking out right now.
It was an amazing day. I had to go buy more lotion and Kleenex. It was just absolutely fantastic.
Now we understand why you like it. Big fan of 300. Okay, gotcha.
300 is about the amount of times that I did it that day. So yeah,
boy,
raw
overtime.
No nut November for RK Outpost. That's for sure. Multiple nut November. Let's get to a couple.
I see the chat. They're like, smash the melee for the chat, everybody. Yeah. Just smash the melee. We got 1,600 watching. Let's get up to 1,000 right now. We need 500. We need 600.
I haven't even done it. Here we go.
Yeah,
boom.
We need 550. Yeah, boom. Smash the melee. All right. Sorry, Gary.
No, it's all right. It got me thinking. Mrs. Nerdrotic has a friend who works with Zack Snyder. I'm going to see if I can get him on the channel. The last time I spoke with him, it was prior to Man of Steel, and he said he wasn't working on Man of Steel. He's worked on everything with Zack Snyder prior to that. I think Sucker Punch was his last movie, but he said Zack Snyder's crew was removed by Chris Nolan for Man of Steel, but then they were reassembled, I believe, for Batman versus Superman and Dawn of Justice and everything, and Justice League.
We just saw Ryan go full Justin Bieber fangirl at that moment. So
I'll see if I can talk to him. I'll see if I can get him on. Eric Hawk for $2. He says, "Happy Thanksgiving to all the Nerdrotic family." Why? Thank you, and to Geeks and Gamers and to RK Outpost, QuarterBlack Garrett, and maybe his boss who caused a lot of trouble this summer, but we're over it now. But you know what?
We moved on.
Dude, look at your oh my God! Look at your analytics this month compared to freaking summer. Oh my God, it's night and day. So.
I mean, it's the classic SJW nonsense. Whatever they try to hurt, they end up helping. Whatever they try to help, they end up hurting. They're idiots.
Shine the light right on them.
Yep.
Like, look at this person. Oh, wait. Look at that.
Yep. So, by the way, my big announcement, I'm going to do it Friday because this one got pushed back again. So for my plan B, because there will be another adpocalypse, there will be something else coming down the road, and the government has now gotten their little mitts into YouTube, and don't think it's going to stop with the FTC. Just saying. I hate to bring anybody down, but like that was just, if we survive Copa, it will just be the next thing and then the next thing. And it's just going to, death by 1,000 paper cuts. Dino Apostokis. That is, you are Greek. That is a Greek last name for $1.99. Hail Gary and Jeremy. Thank you, Dino. Sorry, I screwed up your last name. Darkstar 76 for $5. Hail Gary and Jeremy. All the chat. Have a safe and happy Thanksgiving. All love you guys. We love you too, Darkstar. We love you too.
Thank you.
Brian Gade for 20 Danish krones. When I saw they fly now, I clapped. Very cool.
Red Letter Media.
Very cool.
So
very
good.
Cool. Siberius for $5. Ryan, don't feel bad. The way Filoni handled the Mandalorians in the Clone Wars and Rebels still bothers me. So while I don't hate the show, but I can't look past it. And Ryan, that stuff's going to creep in.
Yeah, and listen, I do think that this is an opportunity for because Filoni has said that he does feel a little strange about the way he handled Mandalorians and kind of thought it was a misstep. A lot of people didn't like it in Clone Wars and Rebels. I think this is a chance to maybe make some amends. So I do have I would like to say I have an open mind. I'm trying to have an open mind, but in the back it's like, oh God, Dave Filoni. So I'm doing my best, but I do think that there's hope. So we'll see how far that goes.
There is, but this happens every time with Disney. Even if they let stuff go for a little while, like they let Pixar be autonomous for a while. Unfortunately, they let Marvel Comics be autonomous when maybe they should have stepped in like a long time ago. But they eventually come in and Disney-fy things. Pixar is not the same as it was. It used to be pure greatness, and it's still pretty damn good, but it's not the same.
It's mediocre compared to itself. Like compared to its old self, it's like, eh.
And that's why Star Wars has higher standard. We should have higher standards for Star Wars than any. Having an average Star Wars or like an average soundtrack for a certain show that I'm still not letting go. And that's not Star Wars. Star Wars have to try to achieve greatness, and if they fail miserably, fine. But at least they tried. The one thing I could say about the Disney trilogy is John Williams is there and he's doing his work, but he can't save the story. Merry Mayhem for $2. What's up, Mary? We got to get her back on the show. Jar Jar can't even deny us now. No, I'm wondering, do you think he meant to say it? I mean, do you think maybe he was just, talking? How you get on a live stream, maybe you say something you probably wish you had back. Do you think Jar Jar wishes he had that back?
Yeah, I bet it slipped.
I don't know. I mean, I think it's this. What's this guy's name? Matt Miller. Matt Martin
was the guy in the story.
Yeah. I honestly, I think if JJ honestly misspoke, he could just have told that guy like, "Hey, don't write that in," or something like that.
That's true.
So I just don't think. I think at the end of the day, what it proves is that the Fandom Menace is far more. Look, I've talked to people at Lucasfilm who've told me they're well aware of Geeks and Gamers and the Fandom Menace. I mean, I know that they're very aware of us. Again, I got a personal tour of Lucasfilm before The Last Jedi came out. They invited me and my family there, gave me a personal tour, and then after I spoke out against Disney's handling of the Last Jedi, they unfriended me on Facebook. This person unfollowed me on Twitter. Pretty much treated me like I'm dead. They know who we are, and we don't. And again, at that time, it was like just distance yourself from that guy. Blah blah blah. Well, now the Fandom Menace, Geeks and Gamers, we got too big of a platform to them just simply ignore. So I just think we're in their heads.
Oh God, yes.
So I don't think it was. I just think it was a decision he didn't really just think about. It just he said it because it's something that they're aware of. That's my position on it.
Yeah, it's like a Freudian slip. He was probably thinking about that constantly. Oh my gosh, the Fandom Menace. Oh my gosh, and then he just mentioned it, and then it's like, oh shit, pull that back, pull it back.
But yeah, the first thing I thought about was all the people, all the shills that were gonna be pissed that he mentioned this, and knowing that we would go, yeah, he mentioned us, and that must have just irritated the crap. And it does my heart good. Schadenfreude. It's a real thing, and I'm of German descent, so I enjoy that a little bit. Tech Guy for $5. There's an aspect not talked about when starting out on YouTube. Do you people with day jobs who could be affected by SJW's attacks? Oh, okay, I got it. So people with day jobs could be affected when you're doing YouTube as a hobby. Use masks. Yeah, that's why people like that Umbrella Guy and Doomcock and Yellow Flash don't put their face on camera to protect their day jobs. And that didn't help it, that Umbrella Guy, very much.
Right.
People still looked, and
you still got weirdos out there.
Yeah. I might have done it differently, but it didn't affect my day job.
Well, you know, I made the decision when I started the channel, because I thought about doing something like that, but I was like, I would just be so paranoid. I can't imagine kind of like living like that and having to worry constantly about getting revealed. So I just went ahead and used my name and kind of just had it all out there. And so then I don't have to worry about slipping up or accidentally showing something on a live stream when I'm sharing my screen or whatever. It just is what it is. So,
yep, I hear you on that.
No, you're right. I mean, the bigger the channel gets, the more people are going to be curious.
Right.
And yeah, I'm sure, you know, well, I mean, that's what happened to our boy Matt. Remember, he didn't used to show his face, and then somebody found him out, and yeah.
Tell you what, who would have thought that little ugly alien would look better on screen than than the actual face reveal? Yeah.
Oh boy, I haven't checked on his channel in a few days. I got to go check on it.
Let's see, Philip. I think it says Derek or Dernick says they mentioned the Fandom Menace on Screen Junkies today.
Really?
Would that be the honest trailers, or is there another part where they did it? Because
I think it was the honest trailers.
Because I just, you know, I want to be really, you know, clear, because you know, everybody knows I talk very respectful around here. I don't like taking shots, but fuck Screen Junkies. They can all kiss my ass. They're all little bitches. They all sat there and they turned on Andy Signor, who was a friend and a colleague of theirs. They all grandstanded with their Me Too bullshit because a woman accused somebody. Now, again, I didn't like Andy at that time. I made plenty of videos and I told Andy to his face he was a dickhead back then. But I know Andy now. And regardless of how Andy was back then, the man got eaten alive by the Me Too movement. And all those people that claimed to be his friends, all those people that were there based on his creation, they all turned on him, and none of them have retracted their bullshit. Do you know why? Because they're bitches. But anyway, I don't say anything controversial, so moving along.
No,
Very
I don't think that was
respectful.
controversial at all. I think that's dead on. There's nothing wrong with that statement. You know what? They scattered to the four winds, and when he came back, and it turned out that not all of those allegations were true. Oh, big surprise.
Right.
Yeah, no apologies, nothing. Because you know what? That's how they feel about each other now. Probably you know, the people who are there, they probably still don't like each other, and they would throw whoever under the bus. And because that's, you know, that's unfortunately that's entertainment. But you know what? We've got a bad crop right now. There's a bad crop running things, and there needs to be. We need to. I don't know. We need the farm system has to get built up again. Something has to happen, or we just got to give up on it because it fucking sucks. James for $2. Lots of Mandalorians not wearing helmets in Rebels. Yes, graffiti artist Mandalorians was not. I really didn't like that in Star Wars, but
that threw me off. I quit watching that show because of that.
I've said this all so many times that for all the people that really do like Rebels, just take a second, close your eyes, think back to all the moments that you love about Rebels, and do you love them because of the Rebels? Do you love them because of the crew of the Ghost, or do you love them because of the characters you like from Clone Wars or Star Wars in general? That's what everyone talks about, the Obi-Wan Darth Maul duel, the Ahsoka Vader parts. It's not about Kanan and Ezra and Sabine.
No, it's not. It's absolutely, it's absolutely not. The Rebels is a weak show when you take away the elements that are carried over from the Clone Wars or anything previously from Star Wars. If you take Rebels and based on just what was created within Rebels, again, I think Kanan is a decent character. I think that Sabine is a decent character. I think Hera's a decent character. I think Ezra is trash. I think he is garbage. But again, decent at best on these characters. Everything I love about Rebels is exactly what Ryan talked about. It's nothing that was created from Rebels.
Best thing about Rebels, Tom Baker voiced the Bendu. That was it. That's the best thing about it.
Mary's here. Mary's here.
Mary.
Yay.
Hi, guys.
Now we got some whammy
Yeah.
representation.
Your representation
We
has
are diverse.
arrived.
We've got a QuarterBlack diversity, and you know, we've got a whammon. So wow, this
But of
usually
course-
panels all white males.
You put us all at the bottom.
Yeah, right?
Diversity's at the bottom. What is up with this?
I'm not sure that I like as a female being on the bottom. I feel very oppressed right now.
Yeah, it's not right.
I could just do this. That would be a little better.
Still on bottom.
Still
Still on the bottom.
I like it.
Then
I like it
I
before.
could
It's
do
like
this.
it's like the ladder
What about
of
this?
privilege.
What
Still
about
on
this?
bottom.
What
Still on the
about
bottom.
this? What about this?
You're gonna have
This
to
is
kick.
better. No, let's just do
gotta
this.
kick.
We
You
do that.
gotta-
That's much better. I kid.
Oh man.
Yeah.
No, but
so
that's good.
Hi,
Definitely
Murray.
fair points. Definitely fair points by Ryan. He finally made a fair point. Proud of it.
Well, and then I
Yeah.
see people in the chat who say they do love those characters. So yeah, there are people that like them. I would just say that the vast majority of people that I kind of listen to, that's my feeling about how they feel about Rebels.
Yep.
So
I was okay with Rebels because I just don't care that much about Star Wars, and it sucks because Doomcock and I went over this a couple of inquisitions ago, like my breakup with Star Wars, and it sucked because this is something I loved as much as Marvel Comics for decades. I was the biggest Star Wars fan. I bought all the toys, read some of the books, but all the comics, had all the action figures. And for years and years and years supported this thing. And the Clone War, the prequels came out, and you know what? They sucked, but I still liked them. I went through my little spurging out about the Phantom Menace, but they were okay, and I became okay with it. But it was, I don't know, man. It's just after The Force Awakens, I was excited for The Force Awakens. I was. And I just walked out of it just going, no. And thank God I found Jeff from the World Class
Yes.
Bullshitters. That's what introduced me to the Fandom Menace. That was the beginnings, because I just felt alone. I went after it because everybody was loving it. And I'm all, why am I not loving this? And I was even questioning, I'm all, maybe I'm just old. Maybe I'm just, my taste sucks now. And which is always a possibility. I got to count that. But yeah, I just walked out of that with a lot of questions. I didn't hate it as much as I hated Last Jedi, because I thought they could build on it, but yeah,
I felt exactly the same way, and I went into it kind of wanting to hate it, so that I had that in the back of my mind, right? You know what I mean? Like, because after 2014, when they said, "Oh, we're not going to use the EU for creative freedoms," and then I heard the rumors about what they were doing, I was like, "This all seems like you're just taking the ideas you threw away and just putting your own stupid twist on them," and so I went into it. I tried to keep an open mind, but really I wanted to hate it. And I did hate it. Everybody else loved it. I'm like, so I'm looking for another person who feels to validate my opinion. And I found Jeff. And that is kind of what introduced me to that whole thing. So in the same boat.
See, I went in wanting to love it, more excited than I had ever really been probably for anything in my entire life in terms of media, because I love Disney, right? Loved Disney with all my heart and loved Star Wars. And so I'm like looking at these two things going, these are the things that I grew up on, and they're going to get together and they're going to get married. And, oh my God, the babies are going to be beautiful. And I walked out of there having had these expectations of something grand and beautiful and wonderful, and seeing the characters that I had grown up with come back to the screen, come back to life before me. And instead, Han Solo died estranged from Leia. And I was crushed.
oh yes,
Completely crushed.
I've got one more about to join us from G&G here in just a minute. You'll just keep an eye out. Mary will be happy.
Are there cameras
okay. Was it
involved?
the person who was asking? I just
It's
saw
not
that.
well, it's not drunk 3PO, so everybody can be happy. It's
Oh.
not drunk 3PO. So
That's awkward. 'cause I
You
just-
wanted to
I-
make
Oh no.
I wanted
drunk.
Kara.
We got to get you on soon, man.
no, it's Candice. So,
Okay, good. Yeah, I was gonna send
yeah,
send her an
yeah.
invite.
I sent it to her.
on it. Good.
My twinsies on the way. Nice.
So okay. So Jar Jar, maybe he knew what he was doing. I consider the possibility that Jar Jar Abrams is a person who, while he is awake, he is constantly thinking about how he looks, what he's saying. I believe he's that narcissistic. I believe in that interview he showed a little bit of his true colors by you know, when he threw the shade at us and he said, well, it's just people being divisive to stay in the game, you know, to be relevant, which is all, you know, it's him judging us by his standards, which is, I need to be relevant. For one, Star Wars never needs to be relevant. It needs to be timeless. But that shows how little he cares about Star Wars. But I think he might have been deliberate about that, knowing how much it would piss off and maybe mobilize the very willing access media.
Why did he think that he could throw out this sort of like skirt the line here with like, why can't we be friends, after you literally responded to, you know, the toxic fandom by naming us? What I don't understand what he was thinking there. On the one hand, you literally just referred to us by name as the toxic fandom, and then on the other hand, you're like, well, why can't we just get back to a place where we can get along? And what did you think would come from that? Did you think that we were going to go, oh yeah, guys, let's be friends again? Like, of course we're still mad. You literally in the same exact like couple of paragraphs there acknowledged, like said, oh, these are the toxic people. Oh yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, no, we're good. Yeah,
like 4 times.
Like Star Wars again because you said so.
Yeah, we're not a bunch of coked out executives. We're not buying your bullshit, dude. So, and that's, you know, he's used to winning all the time, and maybe he thinks he's that charming. And dude, you're the cause of all this, bro. I mean, Rian Johnson like stuck the knife in and twisted it, but you built the foundation, Jar Jar Abrams and Kathleen Kennedy. And I think Kathleen Kennedy was just dumb and didn't know what she had and didn't care about Star Wars and let Jar Jar kind of do whatever he wanted. And I've always thought that. I mean, I don't like Kathleen Kennedy. She's just as responsible, but Jar Jar is the architect of this foundation in sand, or you said House of Cards, Ryan, you're right. And he's the one who set the way. He's the one who deliberately put in when Finn wanted to go help Rey. She said, don't take my hand. We don't need to have that. If you don't want to have women being led around by hands, just don't shoot it. Normalize it. But to point it out in Star Wars in the beginning, when you're getting to know your character, you make her unlikable immediately.
Well, and see, this is why, you know, Disney, you're responsible for toxic Jeremy, because dumbass Jeremy, bitch boy Jeremy, beta Jeremy, the beta that tucked it for you. You know, I was willing to overlook all your bullshit. You know, I remember those moments, and it stood out to me. I was like, man, are we really doing that? But you know what? I had faith in the process. I had faith in the storytelling. I was hoping it would go somewhere. And, you know, you lied to me. You lied to all the fans who had faith in this, and you're responsible. So I'm never going to give Disney any slack whatsoever. I don't give a shit. I will never stop, because they created this monster now, because their lies, their bullshit, and everything. So I have no sympathy for anybody. I mean, look, I feel sorry for you if you work at Lucasfilm and you're against this, but at the same time, you know, you're going to be collateral damage, because right now, that woman that runs that company and all of the crazy people that she's hired to push her political agenda, they're responsible for this. And, you know, I just will not compromise at all anymore. I just do not care about Disney in any capacity in terms of what they're doing with Star Wars and some other properties.
You know,
hi, Candice.
Go ahead.
Hi. Oh my gosh. So like, I am not from where I usually stream. I'm at my parents' house in Texas, and the lighting here is like from the 70s, the golden light from above. There's no fixing this. I brought everything I could to remedy the situation, but we're just gonna go with it.
It looks fine.
I stumbled on, okay, so I've been out of the loop, but I've been catching up with some of the stuff. Holy shit. The last 24 hours of stuff, 48 hours of stuff. Like, what did I miss? So I'm like catching up with it right now. Like, this is my reaction video, Nerdrotic. I'm hijacking this as my reaction video to these articles right now, because and hi, QuarterBlack. This is my first time with you, fellow Mug Club member here. So love your work. Keep up the great job. Young Ripa's in the chat right now too. I'm just sorry, just saying hi to everyone. Happy to be here.
Ripa.
Ryan,
QuarterBlack,
Jeremy, Mary, of course. Love you guys.
QuarterBlack's going pixelated.
He's
QuarterBlack.
No.
No. Oh,
QuarterBlack.
Not me.
I just screen capped it.
Hey, give him full screen real quick, Gary. Give him full screen.
full screen
Let's
him.
get those screenshots. Oh,
Okay, I was thinking I would have the worst off internet connection, but I'm happy I am not lacking tonight. Thank you, QuarterBlack, for bringing up the rear.
This is racism. This is pixelated racism.
It's only quarter racism.
I am offended.
It's only quarter racism. It's not 100% racism. Okay.
What,
Just a quarter racist.
144, 144th black, Garrett?
Yeah.
Nerdrotic. This is Nerdrotic says hello to everybody.
Mary, I had to interrupt. I'm sorry.
No. I was just gonna say, oh my God, Candice, guess what? Candice, guess what?
What?
They fly now.
They fly.
Oh yeah. Oh, I haven't even seen the trailer. I was thinking about doing a belated trailer reaction, but I know what happens. But like, I just want to watch this and just see what happens to my face because I know I'm gonna flip the hell out. I know it.
It's so bad, and it is hilarious, but not for the reason.
Wait, and did somebody was somebody caught off guard that was in the cast? Like they fly now and they didn't know. What is the story here?
I wouldn't be surprised because it was probably a reshoot. It was probably added later.
They've always flown.
I thought
like jetpacks are not new. Jetpacks are not new, and in their own canon, in the comic book, Poe has seen them fly with jetpacks.
I watched
in
just
the
a little part
Mandalorian.
of it, like the what is it? Just kick up and they pop out like
so stupid.
So the thing is, if you want to make
amazed.
If you want to make this ridiculous art, like Jason Ward, epic cuckery again from Jason Ward, who's always putting stuff out, trying to rail people with like 20 followers. He retweets them and says, "Thanks for attending my TED Talk." Fuck you, Jason Ward. But he puts out, well, clearly they were saying, it's happened before that doesn't mean that technology remains the same. They just hadn't witnessed it before and all this stuff. And I can listen, if you want to make that ridiculous argument, you can do mental gymnastics and say that maybe they had never seen a jetpack in action if you want. But the problem is in the Poe Dameron comics, if you look at jetpack references on Wikipedia, that'll help find which issues it is. It's like issues 1, 2, 3, 4, 27, on and on and on of the Poe Dameron comic. There are jetpack troopers in it. This is pre-Rise of Skywalker. Poe Dameron has seen this in Disney's own canon. Not just like Mandalorian or not just the movies. Poe Dameron has seen it with his own eyes. So then, of course...
I was making a joke earlier. I was like, some guy named Dave is working there, and he just accidentally filed the comics in the wrong place. And had no idea. So fucking Dave, man. Somebody fire that guy.
I feel like we might be in for some surprises maybe with this movie at this point now.
Well, yeah, because they just got some new stuff, so
they keep pulling in some new stuff.
Bad. Hey, if Ripa's gonna be here for a bit, I'm gonna have to bounce in about 10 minutes. So if Ripa wants on, he can replace me. Ripa, shoot me a message or drop it in the chat and let me know if you're gonna be around, man.
We can have more diversity on the chat instead of just a QuarterBlack Garrett.
We'll trade into toxic white male for African American. There we go. There we go.
Very nice. I can't say anything about us now.
That's $1.25 right there.
John Talks in the chat caught something. This is yes. He's like, Ryan, is that a new shirt? It has the size sticker on it. Yeah, it is. Right here.
That's a single man right there.
Good catch, John.
Nice. Good looking out.
Tag hanging off his jeans and.
At least they're not ripped.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. That is true. So the impracticality and stupidity of this whole they fly now thing. That's dumb. See, you guys don't watch Star Trek, so you're lucky. But the people who are in charge of Star Trek right now are from Bad Robot, and they had the Enterprise. The Enterprise is a ship that's a certain size. And last season they had the Enterprise like shit out about 1,000 shuttles, and there's this elevator inside that was like a turbo lift, but now it's a roller coaster on the inside of looks like this massive ship. These are the idiots in charge. They don't care. They don't care about scale, verisimilitude, as Robert Meyer Burnett calls it. It's just what's cool. And fuck canon. We don't care about canon.
I thought Star Trek was supposed to be the smart show.
It was, and now it's the dumbest show on television. Star Trek Discovery is
the dumbest show.
Is the dumbest show, and as bad as Star Wars has been, Star Trek has actually been worse. So the only thing is, to individual characters, Star Wars has been worse, but to overall plot and just actual dialogue, Star Trek Discovery is by far the worst written show on television. And it's because it's what Kathleen Kennedy did. They just thought they can invite in a bunch of soap opera writers or people who said they're Star Wars fans because they bought a couple of pops, and they gave them the keys to the castle, and they had to actually write something. And it turns out they didn't know shit about Star Wars. And that's what happened. You know, I don't know if that writer's room or group is still around or not, but God, I hope not. I hope not. Chris Terrio's writing Rise of Skywalker.
I'm surprised they even have writer rooms anymore after what goes down with those and the inability to creatively express oneself, even in a writing room. I feel like what's the point of them anymore now?
No, that's a good point. I think they might be going away. Because they worked, you know, in the Whedon era and with like Doctor Who, but it was still, you had somebody overseeing anything who would task people to write something. But now it's literally a group effort, and you know, it's a bunch of creative. We saw this happen with Star Trek. They actually brought in a real writer, and he was telling an anecdotal story, and he dropped the N-bomb, but he happened to be a black Jewish man, and he got somebody ratted him out. And he got fired. That's current year Hollywood. So, and this is an old school writer. He's a novelist, Walter Mosley. That was a pretty ugly incident.
Yeah. That was. But the irony behind what happened was so beautiful, wasn't it? Like in his inability to express a real life story without being called out by HR in the writing room. Mm-hmm. That's just so. It's just beautiful. It's a beautiful microcosm of the reality around us. It
is the place where you're supposed to be creatively free, like the most free. You can say anything, and you always could. Now you can't, because some 20-year-old who was given a job they probably didn't deserve had a problem. Right, because
they need safe spaces within the writing room. That's what they need.
And you know that it's gonna make great stories. Just all the writers that just can't say anything in the writer's room. They'll be like, what about just somebody does something? I don't know. I can't say anything. I don't know. I'm too afraid.
What must it be?
Yeah, Garrett, your writing room, I'm sure, has a lot of really rough edits. I would love to see those sometime. Those are hilarious, I bet.
You don't want to see that.
Yeah,
it's too raw.
Like, what must it be like to sit there in a writer's room and to feel completely and utterly stifled, and then yourself triggered every time someone says to walk around on eggshells like that 24/7? How could you possibly turn out anything creative? How could you? Because you would be too terrified 24/7 of saying something that might hurt someone else's fifis. Of course, you can't put anything creative out there because it
becomes groupthink. It becomes groupthink, and everyone loses individuality, and it loses the concept of a writing room in the first place. You're supposed to have people from different perspectives coming together, offering interesting points of conversion for characters and for plot lines. And if they just have one hodgepodge of what's acceptable to everybody, it's like a jurist. Okay, everybody has to come together with one final verdict on where we go. If we have one person that decides they're against it, then we have to just start over or kick them out and begin anew. It's ridiculous. That's
exactly what's been happening.
Everybody seemed to start confusing the different, they started to confuse being respectful for other people and walking around on eggshells 24/7. And there's a big difference because you can engage with the person in a way that is respectful towards them and considerate of maybe life experiences that they've had, and not sit there and have to tiptoe around like you're on glass and you're terrified that everything's going to fall through. Why do that? Why behave in that way? You make everyone uncomfortable all of the time. Like, you can be respectful. You don't have to walk on glass around people. You don't have to.
Oh, it must suck. But, this has been happening in comics for a while, like years. So Marvel Comics especially has been kind of a foreshadowing of what was going to happen in Hollywood. And your boy Zach, Comics Matter, formerly Diversity in Comics, was pointing this out early on, with any person of color or any female character in a Marvel comic. They were only written a certain way because these writers are in fear. You're absolutely right. So that's why we're getting all these soulful saints or
Young Ripa had a great video about that recently too. He did fantastic. He knows his stuff about female comics and what is lacking. And I love listening to his videos about them because it's eye-opening, because I don't know as much about the comic book world, but now that I know that there's so much that they just choose not to invest in for obvious reasons, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
And
it's upsetting.
Ripa will, he said he'll, because I'm going to hop off here in just a few minutes, but Ripa said he's going to get something to eat. And if you guys are still on, he'll join. So he's already got a link. So
awesome.
Depends on how long you plan on being live for, Gary.
Oh, at least another hour. Another hour. Yeah. I can't stay up too late tonight, but because it's so late, but another hour because we got super chats and we have a lot of people here. But yeah.
It's true.
Party. No, that's what Michael Burnham is the best example of that, or even Angela in Watchmen, who's like surrounded by these, a lot of the characters there are some developed characters in Watchmen. There's like moments of like, there's a good show in there somewhere if it wasn't so derailed by agenda, but our main character is absolutely flawless, except when she trusts a man. That's her flaw. When she trusts a man, she gets screwed over, those men. And it's the worst. The last episode was, I don't know. Are you still watching it, Candice?
God, I decided to cut my losses and start ahead with catching up on The Expanse. I wanted to make sure I reread the last 2 books prior to this one coming up, and then rewatch the entire series, which thankfully they're only 30-minute episodes, so it hasn't been too tough. But yeah,
yeah.
I thought that was the better option.
Have you read the book after Nemesis Games?
I've read all of them.
Okay, yeah, good. Nemesis Games is so good. Such a great book.
Yes. And then it gets weird.
Yeah,
even more weird.
We should do an entire show on that because I would
love to talk to you about that sometime. Yeah. We need to. Absolutely.
I hope the show can improve on that. Eric Barron for $9.99. If you didn't know, the Nerdrotic owned a comic book shop. I don't know if you guys heard. I own a comic book shop.
There's a rumor going around about that.
No way.
I can't believe it. I mean, you look like you haven't, it doesn't seem like it. You a comic shop? Really?
I used to have comic shop guy bod. I had to work that off. It took me a couple of years ago. Yeah.
Clearly, you're made for the screen, not comic book shop owning. Boy. No.
Well, there are some that might agree with you, including Mrs. Nerdrotic.
I love her. She's great.
I kept hearing rumors that you're going to do some kind of online store, but those must be rumors, Gary, because that announcement was supposed to come out so long ago. So that can't be true.
I've been kicking the can down the road on that announcement. But yes, I'm doing an online store that will turn into a brick and mortar. There's a GoFundMe that I'm going to officially announce Friday. I promise I'll announce it Friday. It's up, but I'm going to wait till Friday. Because this was impromptu. I want to have some build up for it. But thank you, RK Outpost. Good looking out, buddy.
Somebody in the chat says, "Is Clownfish TV any good?" Clownfish is a great channel. I met him. I met him at Star Wars Celebration. So good channel. So
is that the channel with Geeky Sparkles in it?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, that's everybody keeps saying that my name is wrong because I should be Geeky, and I've never seen a single thing Geeky Sparkles, so I don't know what that's about. But I'm sorry that my name is Geeky Candi, everybody, and I apologize if it's confusing.
No, it's all good.
It's not that confusing, and
it's actually not at all.
They're cool people.
I've never even thought about that until I guess you said
it comes up every day.
Yeah,
on my YouTube.
I've never even made that connection.
No. Okay. No, and I watch all of their videos. I've been watching them for a while. They covered Doctor Who stuff when I started getting into it.
Okay.
Yeah. How about Alan Moore to rewrite episode 9 and then get Damon Lindelof to direct it, and then takes place in Tulsa, Oklahoma? That's what he would do. Yeah.
And he would write a good superhero story because he's pissed off with how things are today with superheroes, as we've seen. So I'm down with that.
Alan Moore. I mean, he had such a great argument until he called everybody Nazis. I was with him until he said that. And I'm like, dude's crazy.
Doesn't it lose its validity when everyone becomes one, though? I mean,
yeah, it does.
Right.
Yeah.
Loses its meaning.
Jake 117 for $4.99. The man DeLorean is awesome so far. Feels like Star Wars. Feels more like Star Wars than the Disney trilogy. Jeremy, I sent you a message on Twitter. You're hard to reach. LOL. Aren't yeah. He's okay. I think he gets back. I think he gets back in a reasonable amount of time. I've always thought so.
My Twitter inbox right now is slammed with troll accounts. I don't even check it at this point. Like, it's so bad. It's so bad.
Gotta be the same person running all those.
It's gotta be
constantly having conversations with each other, and it's hilarious.
Stock accounts.
It's amazing.
I recently got hit with that stuff. Like, I had been avoiding it for it's just never hit. But yeah, I'm starting to get some of the love. Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, they fill my mentions as soon as I send a tweet. I got Bob Iger, Kathleen Kennedy, Kurtzman, Brie Larson. It's amazing. Kathleen Kennedy. Oh my
Feige.
God. Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah.
Feige and Brie Larson.
Yeah, the Kevin Feige one was hanging out last night, and he was pretty funny.
I wonder who it is.
I think he was telling me to ditch you, Jeremy. He was like, "You're fine on your own."
Yeah.
Ragnar Oofbert for $5. Frozen 2 caused more reaction with the machete attack than Joker. With all the warnings of maybe will definitely cause incel violence. Yes.
Yes.
We let it go.
Yes.
Let it go.
You know,
a week over that one.
sometimes
Like 13-year-old girls running around hacking each other.
That would be so great.
sometimes it's
Yeah,
so
they were off
easy.
the mark a little bit with that one. Just
Yeah,
off a little bit.
sometimes it's so easy to expose the idiots that hate on us. So I mean, they were screaming because my headline was I don't know, I put some headline about Frozen 2 causes violence or something, and so I saw these people that hate me, and they're like, this idiot at Geeks Plus Gamers, he thinks Frozen 2 inspired violence. And I'm like, oh God, if fucking idiots would watch my video. I literally said in the video, after I did my whole sarcasm promo from wrestling, where I basically said that we have to stop with these strong female leads because clearly it's inspiring violence. Clearly young women are grabbing
Ryan
machetes.
Johnson should have held off on the title Knives Out for his theory with his plot line and waited just a little bit longer and redid that. He needs a second part 2 about, Frozen and what's that? That other movie, the urban gang movie where there were 70 plus people also with machetes in London, or it was in UK.
Yeah.
How do you get machete into
what?
Like, what do you just you put it in your
For
purse?
the same day.
You slide it down the back of your pants and hope you don't lose a buttocks. How do you get that?
I mean, it was a movie about urban gang warfare, and I don't think the media alerted the UK or those British bobbies about this, possible problem. And they had machete people going around town at the local cinema, just having a grand old time, hacking each other to bits. So it's just like it's interesting to see. Wasn't the Joker, was it?
No.
Yeah.
Like some research.
And I'm not gonna guess what those people look like. I'm not gonna where they might be from. I'm just gonna say.
I was just gonna say.
They were from Wales. That's what
they
I'm
all
saying.
look like Jeremy. Yes. Actually, it was Mauler. It was a bunch of Maulers running around.
Well, in Birmingham and London, you are just about as likely to get stabbed as you are just to do anything else. So
it was a bunch of guys that look like Morrissey and Ryan. Yeah,
exactly.
Beating on each other. How is there 2 QuarterBlack Garretts in the backstage? I see two.
Uh-oh.
Are you double?
So would that make a half Garrett? Is that a half black Garrett?
Look, tech guy 3099. This is not acceptable.
I don't see
this is pixelated racism.
I don't see.
I don't
like
that
it.
one eye that's bugging out right there. What the hell?
I don't see anything.
Yeah, I don't think anybody sees anything but you guys.
Yeah,
what are you guys smoking right now?
You guys are a different plane of existence.
Maybe.
If you wouldn't
I'm doubly pixelated. No.
No, that wasn't
What
like
just
that.
happened?
Yeah.
That wasn't like down.
I wanted to see the eye bugging out of the side, but
You guys couldn't see that for real?
No,
No.
Oh, that's
nobody
too bad.
saw anything. But
That's too bad because it was extremely racist, and I am very offended.
the point I was making that video was that if this would have happened at a Joker
I'm watching
screening,
the YouTube now.
yeah, and there's nothing. It's just it's just
empty
blank.
space.
Yeah. But
That's
if
weird.
this would have happened at a Joker screening, the media would have an epic collapse. And it would have been an all-out war on white men and incels and
White man
Trump.
wears white makeup
Yep.
and the world goes
Yes.
utter chaos.
But as I said in my video, it had nothing to do with Frozen. It had nothing to do with anything. These things happen. It's a coincidence. It has nothing to do with anything. But the people that don't watch my videos, they only react to my headlines. It was great seeing them spread the lies because they were like, "This high school dropout's so dumb. He thinks Frozen 2 caused violence." I'm like, "Oh my God, watch my video, you fucking idiots." Anyway,
Got the shares though.
yes,
Got the shares.
that's right. But on that note, I'm going to bounce. Young Ripa, he may join in. So you guys, since Gary never keeps his eye on the private chat, you guys do that for Ripa. But if Ripa messages me back, I'll shoot you a message, whoever's on here, and tell you he's coming. Other than that, Gary, thanks for having me, man. So
Sure, no problem, man. I'll
smash
catch you
the
later.
melee, everybody. We need 149 more. And I know that.
Chrissy just put the picture in the meme. She's put it in the chat.
Oh,
If you
okay.
guys want to see it.
It didn't update.
I don't know.
In
He's
the
frozen
private
again.
chat, I'm watching the private chat.
He's frozen again, guys.
He is.
Frozen. He's frozen. He's frozen again.
Dang it!
He's done. He's done.
QuarterBlack, he needs to ask for a cut of that mug club fund.
Mug club,
I
yeah.
need some internet money.
Get in on that.
Oh man! All right, I appreciate all that. I appreciate all the hashtag cancel Jeremy's. I'm out of here. QuarterBlack, great to see you. To my
man.
Geeks and Gamers team, love you all. You all have a happy Thanksgiving. I mean that sincerely from the bottom of my heart. I'm even saying that to all you fucking people that lie about all of us. Have a happy Thanksgiving. And you guys
Don't cock to them, Jeremy.
Yeah, I heard that.
Oh, they don't
yeah,
enjoy
you
the
know what?
holiday
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah, you all go to hell. You know, never mind.
Thank you.
So
Take it all back. Take it all back.
I'm taking it back. All right, guys. Have a good night.
Enjoy
I'll
your
talk to you later.
family, Jeremy.
See you
All right.
Friday,
Enjoy.
man.
Bye.
ya.
Bye.
All right. Thank God he's gone, right?
Yeah,
Right?
he's
Yes.
Jeez.
Gary,
Toxic male.
he's killing your channel, bro. You gotta
Don't
let
kill
him
it.
go.
You gotta
Dude.
ditch him.
I gotta, oh man, I'll do it Friday. I got an email. I got a big long email how Jeremy's killing my channel. Then I just shot back a screenshot of the analytics for the last month.
You're just like,
Enough said. Yeah. Listen, it's one show, but I like Jeremy. I actually genuinely like him. He's a cool dude. We hung out in New York. We hung out in San Diego. Yeah. But yeah, I can understand why you don't like him too. Now, so let's get back to the super chats here a little bit. And Mr. Guy for $4.99. This was my free super chat money for y'all. I'm a never watcher. No The Last Jedi and no Solo, but hundreds of hours and super chats with you all. You jelly Disney? Well, there you go. Mr. Guy is more into YouTube than to actual Disney, which I'm right there with you. I'd rather watch a Geeky stream or sorry, a Candice stream or a Merry Mayhem stream, even an RK Outpost stream, not the gaming streams, though. I can't
Dude,
do
he's
those.
killing it over there. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but I can't do those gaming streams. I'm sorry, man.
Well, that's all right. I can.
I'm
see
not a
that.
gamer. It's not you. I can't do anybody's gaming streams because I don't game. But it's like watching my kids play games. It's Steve.
You're just like, oh, how do you do that without just walking into the corner? How are you jumping? Is that what you're like, boomer dad? Is that what you do?
Yeah. I'm very lame when it comes to video games. Steve O for $9.99. Hail Gary, I'll put this in the regular chat pertaining to this, but curious about these levels I keep hearing about. How does one subscribe to those? You can be a member and you hit the join button on the main channel, and then there's 3 different levels you can join, and they each get different things, but the higher the level goes, you get the previous level stuff. There's no badges yet. Josiah's is offered to help me, and I have to reach out to him to do the badges and the emojis. But I did shoot. I'm in the middle of editing an intro for Friday Night Tights, and the Nerdrotic Nooner is going to have an intro now. Yes, I got a bunch of new toys with my new editing software. Yes. Nice. Jack Random for $2. The Mahler EFAP plot chat was hilarious. Plot equals crap. Yes. I almost watched all of that. I listened to most of it.
I missed that one. I'm waiting for it.
Yeah, it's on my playlist. I need to catch up.
Good old Matthew Matson for $1.99. Baby Yoda plus Palp's DNA plus Rey Mando episode 8 spoilers. So yeah, Ryan, you were talking about that. They scheduled the Mandalorian different so it doesn't come out the night Rise of Skywalker previews, and you suspected that there's going to be some sort of connection. Possibly.
Well, there was a lot of people talking about it specifically because there was also they spotted some little thing. These guys that go like frame by frame through every trailer. Jesus. They noticed that in the background of the most recent TV spot there is a yellow blaster bolt, which we don't really see in Star Wars unless it's involving a Mandalorian, especially in TCW and the Clone Wars. Pretty much the only people using yellow blaster bolts at all were Mandalorians.
Yeah, that was bizarre.
Yeah, so people were really speculating about that. I said that I could see that. However, it could be that JJ just wanted somebody to have a cool colored blaster and he doesn't understand the lore and no one told him about the lore, which is why we had the whole jetpack
like the
thing.
Red Sith Troopers, maybe?
Exactly.
Along those lines?
Exactly. So I don't know. I definitely could be. There's definitely smoke, right? Is it just they want to use the goodwill from Mandalorian? Is there actually something connection between episodes 7 and 8? Candice probably knows better than me since she got the details of all the spoilers that are out there, and I've tried to avoid those.
Or did Jar Jar just go, ooh, pretty?
That's what I think it is. I think that he's ooh, Zori Bliss. Let's make her a different character because she's a woman. Let's give her a yellow blaster. That's what I think it is.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
I'm still of the belief of the Mandalorian being a standalone entity, not being created to soften the fall of the Skywalker kerfuffle. It's gonna fall. It's gonna fall, and it's I don't think that Jon Favreau would have picked this up as a means to that end. So. I don't know. That's just my opinion, though. But I haven't caught up in the last 48 hours of Mandalorian stuff, so I'm going to do some work tonight to be ready for tomorrow night for sure.
QuarterBlack is frozen as hell now.
I'm gonna smash. I'm gonna smash my modem.
He's fine now. I don't think the Mandalorian started out as one thing, and I think it evolved into something else. I think we have not heard any problems with this show, but knowing how TV works, that goes into development, they write scripts and then they rewrite the hell out of them before they even start shooting anything. And I can't imagine the Mandalorian's any different from any other than costing a lot more money, being different than any other TV show. But I certainly believe I don't believe in coincidences. I think that it coming out during this time, I think it softens the blow for the Rise of Skywalker. At least I think that they need some positive news, but I don't think they know. I don't think they knew that far out that the Rise of Skywalker was going to be a total disaster. But as things were coming in, and as Bob Iger was giving notes, because we know he did that because he said it in his interview that he said he gave notes, which getting notes from a CEO, creative notes on a TV show is rare. That's rare. And so this tells me, if anything else, this is Bob Iger's Star Wars. Mandalorian is Bob Iger's Star Wars. However it turns out, whatever the motivation was, hearing that he gave notes, creative notes, and that they were listened to, that was crazy. That shows that Jon Favreau is a good team player, though, because there's a lot of TV guys.
He loves teams. His entire crew of directors he has they were meeting all the time behind the scenes with the series, which is something they don't often do. They don't put the time towards that. He's big into teamwork for sure. I truly hope, I'm an eternal optimist, as many of you who know me or see any of my videos know. And I think they know that the tone of the fandom is that, generally speaking, tying anything in to this such a divisive franchise, the Skywalker, it's just the Skywalker saga would be an awful thing to do to something that's doing fairly well for once.
Yeah.
And I know tone. They know the tone. I just think they've done so many things for the right. I don't think they would. I hope they don't.
Oh, wait, what, connected to Rise of Skywalker? Okay. I don't think they can help it. We'll see. I mean, considering that there was no plan with the Disney trilogy, it wouldn't surprise me if it's not connected. I would hope it wasn't. My hope is that it's not connected at all, but it's, honestly, again, objectively, I like it as a non-Star Wars fan, as a person who will not be a Star Wars fan. It would take a miracle for me to be a Star Wars fan again, but it's still pretty good, but it's not good enough to get me back.
We're all sitting here just hoping, just praying that The Mandalorian is as connected to episode 9 as the comics are. Because they fly now.
Yeah.
I do think that the next trilogy, though, could have strong ties. I feel like it would make more sense to have it gear up for something towards that than it would be to have anything to do with this. I don't even know what to call it.
They don't have any plans, though. They don't have any plans for these. They don't have any plans for another trilogy. Right.
Yeah.
Well, they still have the dates out. So they gave the dates. 2021.
They don't have
coming, right?
Yeah, they don't have a clue what they're doing. Nobody works there anymore.
I know, but they gotta have something.
Yeah, it's a placeholder. Exactly, it's a placeholder until Kevin Feige comes over. I don't know. I believe that they are Marvelizing this thing. That they got the guy who started, not for Disney. They got Jon Favreau in there, and he's again. But Jon Favreau's hit and miss. I mean,
they're literally Marvelizing it with the Iron Man obvious Easter eggs here and there all over the place.
Yeah, right.
If you're going to emulate something, I guess it's just odd. I mean, I guess it makes sense. You can get all your cost. You can make it a bunch of superheroes running around in the Star Wars universe, and I guess it could work. It could for a lot of people, just not me. Okay. Steve Berger says, if JJ makes enough Green Lantern movies, he'll have to use EVS characters so we can rip on his movies while Ethan gets rich. LMA. That was Sheafberger, by the way. Thanks for the $9.99. That would be my hope. I hope he does. I hope they don't screw him out of residuals like they've screwed so many other creators. But DC's much better about that stuff than Marvel is. I will say that. So hopefully they don't, and hopefully he does. That would be hilarious.
But I think
Brian Yoder just said QuarterBlack Garrett or quarter bit rate Garrett. Subscriber of yours, by the way. Gary.
What was that? Sorry.
New member.
I got a new member. All right.
Well, I don't know if he's new, but I just said member Brian Yoder.
Oh,
that was really funny. Yes.
Oh, there it is right there. I got it. That's it. Thank you very much. And welcome, Byron.
I do think, just to hit on that, the Green Lantern thing, if they use pretty much any of the other colored lanterns, I'm pretty sure that Ethan gets some of that, because him and Jeff Johns created basically all the other Lantern Corps, as well as I think if they use Jessica Cruz, who I think could be someone that, based on the current climate in Hollywood and everything, I feel like Jessica Cruz would be a way that a lot of people would want to go as far as the Green Lantern. As far as I know, Ethan was the first one to draw her as well. He helped create that character, so he may get residuals for her as well.
Yeah, he did the character design.
I thought he talked about them paying him off so he wouldn't, but maybe he still gets like smaller ones. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, maybe that's true. Yeah,
there's so much effery going on. But again, DC is much nicer to comic book retailers and creatives than Marvel ever was and ever will be. And that was prior to Disney. How would you know that, Gary? I don't know. Probably because I used to own a comic book shop in San Francisco for 10 years.
No,
is it on the hour? I got it's quarter to the hour. Yes, I have to announce that
every time.
Every time. Yes, I know.
Very cool.
Ryan Thrasher dude Did you like The Mandalorian? I did. Yes, I did like it. It's good. I think I think Baby Yoda is cute. I thought the last episode was the best episode. I loved the ending. I thought that was really cool. And but it's still, you know, it's not going to win me back. Like I've said before, man, there's no way unless they resurrect Luke Skywalker and just undo the Disney trilogy. Yeah, it's not happening.
Yeah, I don't know how they're going to reverse that. Like, I can't unthink about Akbar just flying into space and nothing, and not alone just his character, but like the actor, the story behind that right there pissed me off so bad, because that's somebody that his whole life, you know, is about this one thing that he did, and it's something that's positive, and he really enjoyed it, and he was meeting all the fans, and then he goes on set and then everybody just treats him like garbage. It's just that pisses me off so much.
Isn't it that like that image in your head of them giving him a cookie and making him go away?
Right.
It's infuriating. Yep. It's so infuriating. This man who is a cornerstone in this mythology here, who fans, who you know, and that's the kicker, you know, fans respect him, that he has slept and breathed this.
Real fans, yeah.
For decades upon decades, since its inception on the screen, and you know that, and you dismissed him so completely out of hand, knowing that if it ever got out to the fans, there would be huge backlash, and you didn't give a damn. You didn't even give enough of a damn to pretend to care. You gave him a cookie and made him go away. The level of disrespect shown there, not to Mark, but to the entirety of it, is so blatantly obvious to even just the passing casual fan to go, okay, yeah, that's a little jacked up. I mean, he's been there since the beginning, right? Like, what did you expect to happen? What did you think would happen? Or did you just expect us to blindly follow you around because you slapped Star Wars on it? That's such a narcissistic approach. But I guess, you know, you could expect that from Disney, right? Because as far as I'm concerned, they run the world. So
yeah, the story of like Ryan Johnson, this little all right, I'm not gonna call names.
Just say
I'm not gonna call names. I'm not gonna call names. But this little dude, this little twat waffle who, like, him making fun of the dude who played Akbar, like, as he's like, oh, is this really what I have to do? It's just so insanely frustrating that that dude had any level of control or authority in Star Wars. It's really disappointing.
Yeah, and the fandom that was clowning him too. That was fucking
right. Yeah, I mean, you know, these people aren't actual Star Wars fans. I know, I hate to like throw that thing out there, but if you are making fun of the actor behind Admiral Akbar, you are not a Star Wars fan. Yeah. Sorry, you're just not. You're a Disney Star Wars fan, I guess, but you're not a Star Wars fan, because we care about all the people that play the characters behind the characters, and we care about the characters themselves. You do not.
They're the soul. They're the soul of what started this all. This is ridiculous. The lack of respect. I wonder if the idea of bringing on his son is a sort of a, peace offering.
It
Well, you know, Steele Saunders, the past 2 days, ever since this "You Can Fly" thing happened, has just been almost nonstop on Twitter, just trying to bash Star Wars fans by basically trying to point out any little inconsistency that he could find in the original trilogy and say, oh, why aren't you guys complaining about this? And just trying to do everything he can to ruin Star Wars for people. And he's not having any success because he's getting he's getting BTFO'd, right, by real Star Wars fans.
But we're the toxic ones, right? But we're the ones that want to ruin it for everybody. We're the ones that want to suck all the joy out of it. No, that's not the case at all. It comes down to whether or not a person is a legitimate Star Wars fan and they want to protect what's there, or if they're out there with an agenda and they're happy to destroy what's good if it supports their agenda.
Right.
Yeah.
If the access media was spoken up, you know, because we're seeing some people starting to, you know, hey, again, Fandom Menace being acknowledged by name by the access media, which they wouldn't mention us by name 6 months ago. No. Jar Jar Abrams, being alluded to by Kathleen Kennedy and Bob Iger. You know, if this shit would have happened 6-8 months ago, things might be a lot different. You know, I mean, I'm glad it's acknowledged now. but it's still way too late. It's still way too goddamn late. And part of the fandom, it has been obnoxious. And I love how God, I forgot who it was. It was Ichibaka talked about it too. This is the minority. No, Stephen Walton. He was talking about the Fandom Menace being the majority. And you know, I never thought it was the majority. I thought it was a large portion, like half, but I'm thinking it is now. I'm thinking, you know, I don't know about 80%, but
I think it is. There was that tweet that Star Wars and stuff, the Twitter account, they tweeted out that horrible rap that Daisy really did. And it was just like, this is amazing. And I looked at all of the replies and they were all like, no, this is cringe. This hurts. This is so bad. And then I was like, okay, maybe it's just because I'm logged in and I follow a bunch of Fandom Menace people and, you know, we all hate it. So I logged out and I looked at it. Nope. Everybody was like, this is not good at all. Like, what are you saying? You have no integrity. So I think it is. I think we are the majority. They may not say that they're Fandom Menace. They may not take that step, but they aren't into what's going on right now with Star Wars. I think we're the majority.
No, it's significant. Jar Jar Abrams mentioned us by name. It's significant. That was when I sat down, when I saw it for the first time, Ichibaka had tweeted at me and it didn't really connect in my head. So I sat down and right when I went to read it, Jeremy called me and go, did you see what happened? I'm like, I'm just seeing it right now. And like, I could not believe it. I could not believe it. And just what's next? Because there will be a next.
I'm convinced that he was not supposed to say our name. I'm convinced that was a slip of the tongue because there's no
I still haven't seen this yet and I cannot wait to see this. I'm excited.
God. There was no way he was supposed to mention us. There's no way they want us acknowledged, right? Because it's like giving something power, right? You don't want to give something any more power than it already has. I'm convinced we're literally just that on his mind.
Yeah, we must be.
I'm just saying there's no way he was supposed to let that slip out. And it did anyway. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it was awesome. I usually don't do intros to my videos, clever little intros. I usually just do my little song and then I go.
You do that to me, sweetie.
Yeah, I decided I had to do one. And of course I had to bring in a little Batman versus Superman in mind. So if you guys haven't seen it, I have a cool little intro on my video today about saying the name.
Cold open.
Cold open.
I can't wait to see it. It's also on my playlist. I will watch that after this. I promise.
It's so fun.
Catching up today, I swear.
I was sitting there going, "Oh, okay, all right, Snyder fan. All right, go ahead."
Now I had to catch up. I'm on dead upload day. I didn't watch anybody's videos. I didn't go on YouTube, so I had a bunch of catching up to do this morning. But I did look, and I think there was an effect. I think there was views were down. Across the board. So there was, it was like a Sunday instead of a Tuesday, but it definitely did something. Now we'll see if anything comes of it, but I thought that was interesting.
It's more of just a statement. I think, you know, is that going to affect their bottom line? No. Right. And all the people that are telling me that, I fucking know, not an idiot. I know that my channel, not uploading for a day isn't going to cost Google any money. But it's more of just a statement. And I don't really think I have anything to worry about from COPA, to be quite honest. You know, at least what I do. But there's a lot of people out there that are very worried. So it's just it's just supporting them.
Well, it's not even just
peer support
stuff, right? It's the statement, right? It is you have no right to complain later if it turns out that this does impact you. If you went quietly into the night and said nothing, did nothing, made no stand, then you get no right to complain. So make your stands where you need to, no matter how little the impact you may think it may have. Because at the end of the day, you have only one thing that no one can take from you, and that is your integrity. So stand where you stand and stand there firmly, and don't let anyone sway you from that.
Yep. Fandom Menace.
Yeah, we're nobody's babysitters.
No, no, and
parent your kids.
One of my friends out there, Bird of Prey 5, did a video, which there might be something sitting right in front of our faces that can solve all this. Now I got to look into it because it seems way too simple. But the general audience tab might be the answer. I'm not sure, so I haven't done the research yet. But Bird of Prey. Yeah, so what it is I don't know all the details, but Bird of Prey 5 has been in and out of forums for 20 years, so he's had to deal with COPA for 20 years, and he said the general audience thing is actually the solution. I will link his video when I get a chance. Go take a look at it. Bird of Prey 5's a longtime subscriber.
He's awesome.
Yeah, he's brilliant.
Awesome. I watch you, Bird of Prey 5.
We love
Keep
Bird
up
of
good
Prey
work.
5. Kapla. And Midnight's Edge After Dark. Tom, what's up, buddy? Well, I would send you a link, but we'll see if Ripa comes in. Happy Thanksgiving. Christmas came early. It did. Thank you for the $5. It did. You know, it started with Bob Iger and his book, and then Kathleen Kennedy, and then she lied, and then by the way, Jar Jar Abrams. What covered all this up is Jar Jar Abrams is still saying that Palpatine was part of the plan from the beginning.
Bull crap.
He's still saying this shit.
Yeah, you mean like you know when he said he didn't want to direct Episode 9 and he left, Colin Trevorrow started making the script and then says, "Well, Palpatine wasn't part of my thing. That didn't happen until JJ came back on board." Come on,
I did a video that came out today, and I did that interview. I'm convinced he did that interview. He had to have done it prior to Colin Trevorrow's Empire interview. There's no, because if you read it, he's talking like, Larry, me and Larry, we were working on this all along, and like, dude, you weren't going to work on the third film, but keep talking like that. Right. Okay.
He had to be convinced, like he had to really be dragged back into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least that's the story. You know, maybe it was one of those, like, you know, he wanted to pretend he was being against it, but he was, you know, this dude is all like, he's got so much power. Man, the Access Media, I finally saw an article that picked up on it, that, wow, J.J. Abrams has a lot of power in Hollywood. He's involved in a lot of things. Yeah, you think?
It's like the dog chasing the tail chasing the dog. It's
yes.
Wonder why.
I wonder why. Techno Babbler for $5. I like how critics and media tell us why we like or don't like something, even if we say it's not true. They really are arbiters of their own reality. They really are. They're arbiters of taste, our opinions, their opinions, but we don't matter. See, the critics and the Access Media have commingled with the creatives so much. They are now a part of the creatives. They are the creatives. They don't give a shit about you, the fan, and they, in a lot of cases, loathe we, the fans. And I've heard that from the horse's mouth more than once. So, and it's disappointing to say the least.
Well, somebody shared a link with me today about an interview that JJ did, like when Star Trek was coming out, like in 2011, 2012. And when he was talking about, well, I think people will like it because I think people just want to like things and things like that. Some of the same things that he's saying. And he mentioned, I think I made a movie that a lot of people will like. Now, some of the people who are already fans, they may not like it, but I really wanted to make it for a broad group of, you know, for everybody. And I was like, I can't believe he just said that. Same stuff that he's actively doing. So I guess it makes sense.
No, this is the guy who had to be talked into doing Star Trek. He didn't like Star Trek because Star Trek was too brainy. You had to think too much. It wasn't digestible to the masses. So he's the one who gave CBS the idea and Paramount that maybe you just need to make a Star Wars Star Trek, and well, that's worked out so well so far. A lot of happy Star Trek fans. You know, there was at least 4,000 people at the Star Trek convention in Vegas. Huge numbers, huge.
And they were all about 65, right? I don't know if they're coming back.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. A good friend out there, I won't call him out. He's like, the people were younger. No, dude, I've got video, I've got pictures. The average age was 50. Easy. It was bad. Ryan Thrasher. Now don't send another super chat. It says, do you think they will release it? Are you talking about the Snyder Cut?
I saw another one from him after that. So
yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, there it goes. Do you think the Snyder Cut is that much better? I think they will release it. It has to be better. I think it'll be better because it won't have
anything is better. Anything is better than what came out in theaters.
Yeah,
it's true.
I completely agree. Listen, I do know that there's some people that like it, maybe even some people on this panel that were okay with Justice League. But like for me, for someone that like like Man of Steel and like BVS, the narrative was completely gone, and it was so chopped up. I've talked about it before in more detail on my channel, but the way they decided to give everything a different tone didn't make sense because it wasn't filmed for that. It was filmed to be in a certain light. So then when you adjust the tone, the costumes looked like they were almost like plastic or something. Yeah. It was just such a train wreck from Warner Brothers. And I do hope that I will give them so much money to just see it. I will a year subscription to HBO Max. If you drop it, I'll do it.
Oh my God, Ben Affleck, like he changes, his weight goes up 10 pounds between scenes, 20 pounds. It's bad. I watch, I mean, listen, I own it on Blu-ray. Okay. I'm going to cop to it. When it comes to comic book movies, especially movies with Superman in them, I buy them. I am a Superman fan. So the only thing I haven't bought Superman is Supergirl from CW. I won't touch that shit, but everything else, Superboy, the 90s TV show, George Reeves, Superman, the serials, own all that shit. Love it. Love it. Ryan Thrasher, there you go. Thank you very much for the 2 $1.99 super chats. Techno Babbler, thank you again for the $5. Jedi Knight and Friend of Alita for $5. Revenge of the Sith validated the prequels for a lot of people. Snidey never got his chance to redeem himself with Justice League. He got screwed. And I talked about this when nobody was listening to my podcast when it happened. He was fired. He was fired. That's what I've heard. That's what I've always heard. And they fired him. And this was post what happened to his daughter. So foul people at Warner Brothers, very foul people, but that regime is not there anymore. And apparently Zack Snyder is a nice guy to work with. And that's according to the guy I've talked to. So
I love his work ethic with his family. Everything he does is a full family thing, and I think that that's pretty cool. He brings in everyone who's interested, his kids, his wife, and I think it's nice to see that in Hollywood. You know, everyone keeps such separation a lot of times with family. You keep working families separate, but they all come together for that. It's a nice different kind of thing. So, side note there. Sorry.
No. If they
I'm in a family mood. I mean, it's Thanksgiving week, so I'm just my mind's there.
All right. Hey, I've heard Ryan mention this. If they release the Snyder Cut and they do give him a proper Snyder Cut and then give all the funds to suicide prevention, I'd buy 2. I'd buy 3.
That'd be amazing.
I think that would be
great.
What a great opportunity.
I don't even care if it's like something that I'm particularly interested in or am I find appealing. At that point, it's like it's got too many aspects to it that make you sit there and go, okay, this is worthwhile to say no at that point. Yeah, I'd do it. Let's go for it.
That would make things okay with Warner Brothers. Maybe they could do Zach a solid for being a team player. He was a team player. And I think it would be maybe good for Zach, and the fans would be happy, and maybe the damn movie will be good. But I want him to have his cut. I want Zack Snyder's cut.
Yeah.
And listen, Zach could have gone like scorched earth with this. He could have been talking trash the entire time. He's been a dude who's been reserved. He's just been slowly releasing his stuff. He's not combative. And it's everybody rallying around this dude, and everybody who works with them says exactly the same thing that your buddy has said, Gary. That's why they're so loyal. That's why you're seeing this reaction. That's why Ben Affleck, who can never be bothered to do much of anything on Twitter unless he's promoting like a new movie that he's in, actually tweeted release the Snyder Cut, which no one thought would happen.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah, so it would be great to see. Well, let's hope it happens. I think it will eventually.
Ben's got his own problems, which I hope he's working out. I sincerely do, because I can't imagine being an addict and living in Hollywood and surviving. I wouldn't. Well, I don't want to tell you where the meetings are, but there's some very entertaining AA and NA meetings down there for sure.
Can you imagine working in Hollywood and not just being high or drunk the entire time? How else do you deal with it?
I couldn't imagine, especially in post-production, and when you're working at 3 o'clock in the morning and you're like cutting the same thing over and over again. Yeah, a big old pile of cocaine would have come in handy. But thank God it didn't. Big Ben Howard for $2. F in the chat for episode 9 post-production team.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Crunch on
their post-production. You know what? They're earning their money.
They're not paid enough. That's for sure. Not for this one.
Oh my God. Yeah, they're going to be working. Well, I wonder, I guess they could turn shit around pretty quickly.
Where'd they outsource these? I wonder if this is an in-house team or outsourced team or what the hell team.
It's multiple teams.
Yeah.
So they have Lucasfilm has, unless they've changed it, I think it's in Thailand or Taiwan. There's a Lucasfilm out there. Because if you go look at the Lucasfilm site, before they were Disney, they had the hiring thing and they would have jobs available, and they were all in Asia. And then occasionally there'd be one here. I actually I owned a comic shop, but I also took a job down in LA. And
are we another hour in already?
We are.
Time's going by so fast.
So
damn.
When I came back to go back to the comic shop full time, because I was working 2 jobs, I had an opportunity to work at Lucasfilm as an audio archivist and archivist, and but it was $15 an hour, so I said no. But I would have gotten the job. I would have had to drive to Skywalker Ranch, which is like 40 miles every day for $15 an hour. When San Francisco, that doesn't work.
Yeah. Rough.
Doesn't work. Captain Spire for $5. Gary, Jeremy, Ryan, Garrett. And don't forget Mary and Candice. Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you for your years of encouragement and standing up for the geeks and nerds. Never give up. Never surrender, Captain Spire. Thank you.
Damn.
Yeah.
Never give up. Never surrender.
Never surrender.
That was so cool. I think it was yesterday they did like a little release or something of Galaxy Quest. I loved that movie when I was a kid.
I love that movie. I watched it on the way back from New York. That movie is so good. Brilliant.
Your ventriloquist is that was pretty epic right there. You keep getting frozen, QuarterBlack. I don't know why.
I want to support
I don't know, man. It's the racism. That's what it is.
You guys downloaded something over there?
I'm being oppressed.
You got something downloading over there?
Hey, so there's a documentary coming out on.
Freaking God.
There is a documentary on Galaxy Quest, but unfortunately it is produced by Screen Junkies. I can't watch it.
Yeah. Well, never mind then.
Such a bummer.
That does suck. I'll just go watch the actual movie then. Alan Rickman.
You know, his hair's awfully straight. QuarterBlack Garrett. Just noticing that right now. All right.
Let's not be the quarter part.
That's the
I won't ask any more questions on that. Jose Rosario for $5. This super chat was free for me. Yay. Well, thank you.
Oh, nice.
Awesome. I appreciate that. 200 watt studio for $2. What's happening, ladies? Hail, Fandom Menace. Why? Not much, 200 watt.
I called you a lady here.
Hail.
He did. It's all right. Evening, ladies. Yellow Flash 2 is here. What's up, Yellow Flash? For $2. I hope Knives Out is a complete disaster. I think it will be, especially when you find out. Did you guys see Grace Randolph's review?
Not yet.
Yes.
Bait and switch. The main cast isn't even in the movie. They're in the movie for like minutes, and it's about a woman,
an illegal immigrant.
Yeah.
What?
Wait, no.
Well,
it's not a murder mystery.
It's not a legal immigrant. She is the daughter of illegal immigrants, if I recall right, or something like that. That's what it's focused on.
Yeah. No way. No, get out of here.
That big cast is
Still
barely
not gonna watch it.
Yeah,
I don't believe you.
Still not gonna watch it.
Nope.
Nope.
I don't believe you.
Of course.
So it might fail miserably, because when people go and find out that like Jamie Lee Curtis is in it for 5 minutes, and Chris Evans in it for maybe 10 minutes, and it's all about the girl. And she was in Blade Runner 2049, and yeah, they might not be happy. So I hope it fails miserably.
Yeah. So Chris Evans is. Yeah. Chris Evans has been promoting this, like walking around with Ryan Johnson promoting it. He's barely in the movie, huh? That's interesting. That's
what Grace Randolph, she said the biggest thing, this wasn't the movie I thought it was. It's not it's not a murder mystery. It's a political thriller.
The Clone Ranger just said, I turned down a free ticket to Knives Out. Would rather eat shit.
Wow.
I love that dedication.
If you're gonna go
Yeah,
see
that's-
Skywalker, you're setting yourself up.
I admire that.
A shit
I admire that. I don't know if I could go to that level, but
No.
I admire it for sure.
I'd rather just starve. Can I just starve? Can I take that for
Just
an
like
option?
earmuffs.
Yeah.
No, it's Knives Out or shit. Those are your two choices.
Shit, I'll take shit. I'm gonna
I
take
guess
shit.
I'll take that. Rob D for $5. If Disney gave you all control of the Star Wars franchise after Episode 9 bombs, what would you do? Love the movement. Thank you for all you do. Well, thank you, Rob D, for the $5. We love you too. What would you guys do?
I would hire Ryan Kennel.
Yes.
And
great
I would have him go to town. Him and Matt Wilkins. I would hire them and have them go to town.
Yeah, we'd go, hey everybody, you remember 5 years ago when we said that the EU was not real? Well, Disney's not real. Okay, all that stuff is all fake. We're going
figment
back.
of your imagination.
Didn't happen. It's Legends. It's Star Wars Legends.
Legends, yeah.
All right, and we're gonna go back and we're gonna go through all the EU and just pull the best stuff out there and have a nice story group of people that actually know what they're talking about in Star Wars. It would be great.
Yeah.
I think that is perfect at this point. I think that you have to give it a little break, give people time to heal, and kind of get used to the fact that we're rebooting it or booting it back to where it should have been. When you update or when you redo to your computer, back up your computer. We'll do the backup from 2014 and we'll start right there again. And everyone. Well, not everyone, but most people will be happy again.
Yeah.
I would
audiences.
I would hire Ryan Cannell for the television part. I would get Merry Mayhem and Candice to do the Star Wars show on YouTube. I'd get Doomcock to oversee the films. I would handle the marketing, and I would also sabotage anything possible with Disney to get Lucasfilm separated from that behemoth, batshit crazy company.
We would even take their story treatments.
Yeah, restore the story treatments, the Lucas story. Well, they still need some work though, because I'm sorry, the wills being like little living creatures running around in your body like in little ships. That's a little crazy. That's a little crazy.
I love George, but
we'd work with it.
But McClunky.
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 Yeah. No, McClunky.
I used to say some real mean stuff about George in that comic shop I used to work at.
15-minute reminder.
Dang, we're definitely upping the hours to
well, am I supposed
hours.
to say where I used to? I'll just say where I used to work. So, yes.
Yeah, but then you would deprive us all of laughing.
Yeah, but then we'd be like, Tesla? What are you talking about?
Yeah, Tesla. I would talk about George's sterility at Tesla and how like being sterile makes you lack passion, and that's why it's hard for him to write. I used to be very mean, but
what did George just say? Faster, more intense. Is that what he?
Yeah. Faster, more intense.
Yeah, it rhymes like poetry.
Yeah.
The Cinema Queen for $2. I hope you have a great Thanksgiving, Gary. Well, thank you, the Cinema Queen, and I hope you do as well. I hope your channel's doing better on the relaunch, and we got a live stream again soon. I live streamed with her and the Rookie Critic and Tito, and God, who else was I with? I was with somebody else that I should know. I'm bad. I'm getting old. Sorry, but we'll do it again soon. Nicholas Horton for £5. Hail the Fandom Menace. As someone who lives near Birmingham, it's as good. It has its good and bad neighborhoods. Well,
I'm going logo.
You going logo? All right. You going loco? You're going loco. That's okay. Go whatever way you want. My connection probably sucks too. The Cinema Queen for $2. I have 2 more free super chats. How are you, Gary? I'm great. Thank you for the super chats. It's been a great day. The Fandom Menace being acknowledged. It's rare that YouTube news like carries me through the day. I was like, I was light as a feather. I went to the gym. My car wouldn't start. Didn't care because Jar Jar Abrams mentioned the Fandom Menace. I sat there and waited for my AAA guy, watching YouTube videos, having a good time. Watched the Midnight's Edge live stream. Yeah, it's freaking great. It's a great day. And now I'm live streaming with my friends. Mary's here and Candice is here. And unfortunately Ryan's here, but it's okay.
You can't win everything. You gotta bring back.
And I'm frozen, so
he's not in a V-neck, so
no, he's not.
I really put on a brand new fucking shirt for you, Gary, because I didn't want to. All I had was a V-neck.
So new. It still had.
He tagged it. here. He actually
That's
took
true.
off the text.
I mean,
so.
I don't need to mention
the
that V-necks
keeper.
are for cleavage, but that's okay. I mean,
You should have
if you want to work on that, I'm not going to judge.
You should have seen the cleavage I was showing on the Fandom Menace channel. I put a robe on because he broke 100 subscribers with nothing on underneath. So,
That's nice.
We were all
spicy.
horrified.
Did he get
That's
more
not horror.
subscribers or less for that?
Actually, I do believe it went up.
Oh, there you go. The
yeah.
subscribers or something else?
The viewers.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody, especially you, Father Christopher Miller. Stephen H. for $2. Happy Thanksgiving, Nerdrotic fam. Stephen, thank you to you. Cinema Queen again for $2. Obi-Wan thought blasters are uncivilized for a Jedi, and yet Rey was using them. But she's not a Jedi; she's beyond a Jedi. She's above Obi-Wan, whatever he was.
I saw this question: is she a Jedi? And I don't know. No, she's not. I mean, she hasn't been trained at all. Now, what will we see? We've heard things about the leaks. What we'll see in this opening sequence of Rise of Skywalker. We've heard a lot of theorization about what it will be. Maybe that's her training, but as far as I'm concerned, she's not a Jedi. She's a Force user.
Yeah. I mean, you have to do a specific process to become a Jedi, right? And she's never done. And I'm not saying that she doesn't have the books or whatever, and obviously those will be in place, I'm sure, for episode 9. I cannot roll my eyes any harder at that. But this woman has never had any measure of formal training. It's her own deciphering of this stuff that she's relying on here. And I'm sorry, but we're humans and we're fallible, and sometimes you take things out of context when you don't have someone there telling you exactly what it means. So no, I don't see her as a Jedi.
And Ryan, you say Force user, I say Force abuser, because I really feel like she's completely off balance with the so-called Force using. It's just embarrassing at this point. I don't care for it. I don't want it. She's not my Jedi. She's not my Jedi.
Hashtag not my Jedi.
Not my Jedi.
So, some person, I'm not going to say their name, said Luke became a Jedi after 2 episodes. That's true, but that was spread out over several years.
Mm-hmm.
This Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, was over days.
Yeah.
Okay, if they would have put in this, I mean, I hate that George Lucas left out Luke assembling his lightsaber, because that was supposed to be the moment he becomes a Jedi. They actually, it's in the radio show and it's in the book. It's an important moment. And again, not knowing the EU stuff, but back when I was a kid, that was when you became a Jedi, when you could assemble your own lightsaber, and that was it. The symbolism of Rey deconstructing one, because that's what the leaks say at the end, isn't lost on me. That is something Jar Jar would do.
It's just further tearing down. It's two. When you hear, we're not specifically going to talk about the leaks, I don't think, but when you hear the 2 people that it is, it's specifically tearing down, these legacy characters. And it's just.
And I'm going to be like slightly petty here, but is anybody else like completely and utterly sick of red and blue lightsabers? I just would love to see anything other than red and blue lightsabers. We had so much diversity of lightsabers certainly in the prequels, and then even in the original trilogy, at least they gave us a green one at the end there. I just want a different colored lightsaber. I'm so over
I'm sure the red associated with the First Order has nothing to do with the color of a MAGA hat. I'm saying, I don't think it has anything to do with it whatsoever. Just like, especially The Last Jedi, and considering when Rian Johnson's Knives Out comes out, when you find out that this is a political thriller, but it's like pretty much an Orange Man attack for 2 hours. So he wanted to emphasize red so much in The Last Jedi. Yeah, I don't think they have nothing to do with each other whatsoever. And you'd be crazy to think so.
Yeah. Candice, what I thought we were going to get. Oh, yeah, Candice is back.
Oh,
no, there we go.
Boom.
Hi. Sorry. No, I'm getting new lighting as we speak, so I'm not going to be as golden.
It looks tungsten's good. A good. I like the hue of a tungsten light, but that's me.
Nice and warm.
That's good enough.
Yeah.
You will always be golden, no matter what color light is around you.
Thank you.
Skipper says Star Wars needs a rainbow lightsaber.
Someone said
that's coming.
Pride.
No.
Someone said
that's good enough.
Make the dark side great again. I like that one.
Ryan, I wanted to ask you, do you think they're going to use the black
lightsaber from Rebels?
Black lightsaber from Rebels? Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised. They've used it a lot. Like, it was very prevalent in Clone Wars and very prevalent in Rebels. I would not be surprised if we see it at some point in Mandalorian. I don't know if Candice has heard any rumors about that, but I mean, definitely they've made it a big point. Filoni's made it a big point to connect that to Mandalorians, so we'll see. What do you think, Candice?
Sorry, I was in the midst of lighting difficulties. I'm listening to. Tell me the question one more time. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. The black lightsaber. Do you think they'll bring that into the Mandalorian?
Oh, I have no idea. I have no idea about that. Where was the source on that? Like, what was the context for why that would be a part of it?
It was used in Rebels in the Clone Wars a lot by the Mandalorians. It's their official sword. I mean, it's part of their the origin.
Held by the Mandalore at the time or whatever.
I haven't seen anything that like all the recent interviews and anything like little leaks here and there. Nothing pertaining to a black lightsaber. But now I've got my ears out. I will look for that. Definitely.
I'm interested. Let us know.
And there's always season 2.
There's always season 2.
Oh yeah, season 2's got a lot of cool stuff already that I do know about. I'm excited, but I'm not going to say it here. But yes,
QuarterBlack. What's that supposed to mean?
Amazing.
Ask me about the black lightsaber. How dare you?
QuarterBlack knows about black lightsabers. So I didn't mean it like that. Stop.
No, it's all right. He has a lot of solo practice with him. He hasn't really used it, against anybody yet. But he's been self-partnering with his black lightsaber a lot. So,
oh no,
I'm just kidding, buddy.
Don't do that.
Not really.
Don't tell my secrets.
Was that just between you and me? Sorry.
Come on.
I didn't sign an NDA for that one. Stan Lee got more respect from Disney than George Lucas, says John Brightus for $4.99. Yes, but not that much more. Stan Lee was screwed by so many people and still gets a ton of hate because he decided to play the game instead of sitting off and whining. Complaining how he didn't get, instead of complaining that he got screwed, he just decided to play the game. He still got screwed, but he ended up with more money at the end of at the end of his life. He should have gotten a lot more, but that was the business back then. Don't give your best ideas to a big company. Just don't. Even if it's on low level stuff. At Tesla, I wouldn't give him my best ideas. And I like that place. I thought it was good, except for the dude with a ponytail. I didn't like him.
Never trust a dude with a ponytail unless it's Ivan.
That's right.
It's Ivan.
Right. That's damn right. Is an expanded universe beyond the capabilities of Disney Wars? Hoping that The Mandalorian is not connected to Episode 9 is a sign that Star Wars is broken as fuck. Yes. If we're hoping it's not connected, you're right. That is a sign that it's broken. And as far as repairable, I think they just need to work on a new fan base. I mean, I think that's kind of it.
Yeah. Well, I think that they a trilogy or separate themselves just completely from what it is that we've been given up to this point. Like you've destroyed the Skywalker saga at this point, right? Yeah. So you need to have somewhere else completely. Like I don't think all fans are beyond reach, right? Like clearly, because The Mandalorian is a testament to we are in fact not Star Wars fatigued, right? We are in fact eager and hungry, desperate even to some extent for more Star Wars. But at this point, we just need some distance from this really toxic relationship that we've got with the whole Skywalker saga going on right now. I think you could bring a lot of people back. We want to come back to it, but you have to do something different and you have to do it better.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I kind of took that question a little different way. Like, is an expanded universe beyond them? And I do think with what they currently have in place, they don't care. Like, they got rid of the EU because they wanted to focus on creating their story and being able to maintain that continuity. But just in the first couple things that they've done, they have broken so much of the continuity that just exists in films and the Clone Wars, which they decided to take as part of their canon as well.
Right.
So it's like, what is the story group for? Like, what are they actually doing? If so many fans can clearly point out these mistakes, like immediately when they happen, like what is the story group doing? Do they even care about continuity at all? I think the answer is no, but I don't know why.
Well,
no, it's a burden.
Warning. It should have been a big warning to all of us, not just EU lovers, but to everybody. It should have been a huge warning that they weren't willing to keep the content. If they weren't willing to keep the continuity for the stuff that's already there and beloved, what makes us think that they're going to bother with keeping their own continuity? Like there's no desire to really put in that effort. They came at this, and sloppy is not even a strong enough word to describe what's been going down for the past several years at this point. No, of course they don't care about keeping their own continuity, because they couldn't even be bothered to do it for what was already there. So no, it's
right.
So imagine if Steven Spielberg was given Star Trek. Like, imagine Steven Spielberg was around now and he gave him Star Trek. Would he recast Captain Kirk and Spock, or would he do something original? He'd do something original. Jar Jar Abrams. So the reason they got rid of the EU was the same reason they, made the Kelvin universe for Star Trek. Jar Jar Abrams was given Star Trek. He could have gotten some big stars or some up and comers, got his own ship, created a whole new story, and done what he did there. And people probably would have been more Star Trek fans would have been happy. He would have been better off, but they decided to recast Kirk. And I actually predicted that when I was a little nerd, and I can't believe that they did it. And you know what? I liked it when it originally came out, but when you see what happened later, see people, they want their cake and they want to eat it too. They don't like canon because it constrains them creatively. It makes them work. They have to do research. Our franchises are getting ruined because of laziness. You know that, right? There's agenda, and then I don't want to sit through and watch all the Star Trek episodes or read all the EU novels or hire somebody to read them and break them down for me. They don't want to do any of this work, which would make better films. That's why JJ is a hack. He's a total hack. He's lazy, or he's too busy for everything. He's too busy for Star Trek canon. He's too busy for the EU. I don't know. Ryan, do you know who was behind the decision of ditching the EU? Like, specifically, was it Kathleen Kennedy? Was it when Jar Jar was around?
Was it Pablo?
I haven't heard. All those names were involved, but I have heard the rumor that you're talking about right now, that when JJ came there, he didn't want anything else, any other active stories to constrain him with. That's exactly what I heard. I've never been able to confirm it. I've never been able to confirm it, but that is what I've heard.
I've always suspected it was him because his MO, like everything he's done at Star Trek, he's done at Star Wars. So I fully expect the Rise of Skywalker to be the into darkness of Star Wars. It's just going to be amped up. There's going to be lots of ships and pew pew explosions.
That's what it looks like in the trailer.
Yeah,
it looks like a bunch of put more and more starships in the sky. Let's blow up some stuff over here. Let's bring back Emperor Palpatine. Like let's throw everything at the screen. Hopefully they'll like something.
Well, there's no.
That's what it looks like.
Remember, like I will see at least this for the Last Jedi trailers is they had everyone speculating. We had some concept of at least a potential of where we might be going. We've no, at least based on the trailers alone, we've no concept of where this is headed because there's no plot to speak of. And why are you worried about it, guys? Isn't it shiny? Isn't it pretty? Isn't that
exactly? Why can't you just like Star Wars, Mary? Why can't we just all like? Can you guys just forget all the? I know I poked you as fans, and we all poked the bear. And we all slapped you around and insulted you. But can you just like Star Wars and give us money, please? Can you stop being fans and nerds and caring about canon? Can you just give me money, please?
It says Star Wars, so you must love it, right?
Yeah.
The problem is that there's a lot of, I guess it's not a problem because if you like it, you like it, but it's a problem for me because it makes it seem like we'll never get people that care anymore because there are so many people out there that will do just that. Because it says Star Wars, they will buy it. It doesn't matter to them. It's, and not to say that they're any less of a fan or that their opinion's not worth as much. But for those of us who do really care about what we see as quality, it's really frustrating to see people just lap it up no matter what it is.
Well, you can be a fan that just likes it on the surface level. Hey, I like Star Wars. It says Star Wars. I'm going to go watch the new Star Wars movie. But it's whenever you start making fun of the people that care about it more than you do, That's whenever I have a problem with it. Like
Exactly.
Yeah.
it's fine to like it at a surface level, but it's also fine to like it deeply and know all of the stuff and read all the EU books.
And
then whenever you say, hey, this doesn't quite make sense to the Star Wars that I know, and I'm super into it, and then they go, no, you don't know Star Wars. Well,
even hardcore fans are very forgiving, right? Because like, as I've already stated, I did not like The Force Awakens. I was demolished by it. I was demolished by the fact that Chewie is walking past Princess Leia. I refuse to call her General Leia. And instead she's embracing a complete stranger. That demolished me, wrecked me on the inside. There were so few things for me to walk away from liking The Force Awakens over that I was completely I argued with my brother about it for ages in the car. Like, eventually my ex-husband just got fed up with it. He was like, just shut up. It is over. And then within a few weeks, right, I'm already sitting there going, I'll bet you she's Obi-Wan Kenobi's granddaughter, right? By the time the trailers for The Last Jedi come out, I'm already trying to rationalize this, trying to go, it's going to be okay. So there's Star Wars fans that have so much goodwill to give. And we would absolutely have done whatever we could to be able to try to jump back in and be like, it's okay. And it picked up the pieces, right? But there's only so much a sane human being will take if they genuinely love something, because you won't watch something be demolished beyond recognition. You're willing to try to repair it if you think it is reparable. But if you've seen it gotten destroyed to the point where you're like, this can't be fixed, then you feel like you have to stand up and do something about it. So we would have forgiven you. We would have come back. We certainly tried. And you made that impossible. That's not on us.
No, it's not. You're absolutely
it's like
well
the
said.
5 stages of grief.
Well said.
It's like first I was in denial. I watched it. I watched Force Awakens, and I got out of it, and I was like, no, I like that. Yeah, I liked it. No, it's fine. We're fine. And then we got to, Last Jedi, anger, and then now we're bargaining. We're like, and now they're bargaining. We're like, we got to get this stuff back. Like, is there any way we can get things back? And then depression and sadness.
So the people who say, the reason the Fandom Menace likes the Mandalorian is because it's an exploration of the male experience or something like that. Those are not fans.
We got a lot to explore, by the way.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Those are just simply, they're not fans. They're lugs. So lesbian until graduation. It's a saying. So they're here
until graduation. That's the best.
Maybe that's Ray.
It's hilarious.
Ray's a lug.
Yes. No, exactly. They're just here to get their to get to the next step. Bloggers or whatever, maybe they're political bloggers. They're just here because genre is it's hip. It's the fad right now, and they will be gone when all this stuff is in pieces and in dust. And we nerds who still love this shit no matter what. I mean, I don't have a choice. I love this shit. We'll be around picking up the pieces, and they'll be off. After they're having their socio-political 20s, they'll like go and settle down and get married and have a couple kids and forget all about it.
Right.
And they wash the blue hair dye out. And that's what these people are. They're tourists, and they come out, I just saw this. I was looking for the other thing, and I just saw this. Addresses franchise's toxic fandom menace. So the franchise owns us. No, they're responsible for us. They're responsible to the reaction, but the toxic does belong to the franchise. It does. Yeah, it actually does. And it belongs, but more importantly, it belongs to the garbage CBR access shill media, who's made it so much worse. Who aren't going away, unfortunately, just like we aren't. God damn it.
No, it's kind of like, I think their presence is only going to get worse as they see our presence more. I think they're going to realize that it is a battleground for viewership at some point, and they're going to get dirty.
Well,
they're doing it right now.
Yeah, that's true.
We've seen it ramp up on Twitter and stuff like that over the past few weeks. And with this coming out, with him naming us, right? With him saying the name, you're going to see a lot this up to the rise of Skywalker. So doesn't matter how the majority of people feel about Mandalorian, because they'll spin it. If we didn't like Mandalorian, we would be toxic. That's how it is. You know, QuarterBlack, you said this about 15 minutes in the stream about these people moving goalposts, and that's all they ever do to justify and frame their argument. Because at the end of the day, they don't have an argument. And so get ready, guys. It's going to keep coming and keep coming hot.
It's going to get personal. And if things go the way they usually go, they're going to pick out one of the women from the Fandom Menace, because they like to do that, and make an example. And, you know, I mean, just turn it around in your favor. It usually helps, but they're dumb and they're slow. And, you know, we said that earlier. There's no limit to their stupidity. So the Rookie Critic is here. We love the Rookie Critic, one of the hearts and souls of the Fandom Menace. For $2, hello, nerd and nerders. The Fandom Menace shall rise together. We will. We all will, and we are. And it's been great. It's been great. I can't wait to read this article, but we got to get through some super chats and kind of wrap it up pretty soon. Armand Reyes for $2. Life as a shorty shouldn't be so rough. It shouldn't. It shouldn't.
I hear EVS in the background.
I do. It's not me, though.
Not me.
EVS has made an appearance.
What's up, EVS?
He's living vicariously for us.
He's gone.
Judson Coe for $1.99. Great panel tonight. Thank you. It was impromptu, and it's been great. Thank you again for joining me, ladies and gentlemen, and Ryan. The Rookie Critic for $2. What do you think is JJ's favorite Fandom Menace channel? Oh, fucking Nerdrotic, dude. Yeah. I am the one who's on that guy the most. Is there any question?
I argue with that. He's a whammon lover. He's bound to be all about me.
Oh, he's got, well, yeah. I mean, aside after Mary. Yeah.
I would say that if a channel has the word cock in it, that's probably what JJ is all about. So, that'd be my
no.
Oh,
maybe that's why he has trouble finishing things. Maybe that's why his wife started the Time's Up movement. You know, a lot of layers.
Y'all just keep going.
Not satisfied in the bed. I mean,
can't believe they call us toxic. God,
I don't know where they get that from. Jeez.
That is ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. No, I don't know. I'm pretty hard on JJ. I'm harder on Jar Jar than I am Kathleen Kennedy or Rian Johnson, because I just, from what he did to Star Trek. So
Kathleen Kennedy is just inept. I don't actually think that she's like actively. I do think that she has an agenda, but I don't think she's as active.
That agenda has been more important to her from day one. From day one, it has been absolutely. She lied to put it in place.
Those awful shirts.
The worst.
Those awful shirts.
Yeah.
Worst. Yeah. She lied and she cheated and she manipulated people in order to get that agenda put in place with complete and utter disregard for the fans. She is the worst, and I cannot stand her.
Yeah. Somehow she dumbed her way to the top. I don't get it.
That's the thing. So she should never have been put in that place. She's completely inexperienced and has no idea what she's doing running a company.
Doesn't matter anymore.
So that's why you see. That's why you see the problems with Benioff and Weiss and Lord and Miller and Gareth Edwards. That's why you see all this happening in this very short amount of time.
Right.
Because she has no idea what she's doing. Whereas JJ does, he's just, like you said, Gary, he's just freaking lazy. And he is a hack.
I'll tell you what she does know how to do. She does know how to use her gender to assert herself to the top. And so thinking that ignorance is the only factor here is not true. She didn't dumb her way up there. She manipulated her way up there. And so, yeah, she's inept at what it is that she's doing, but she did put herself there.
That's true,
She absolutely pushed herself there, and she used her gender to do it, and other people let it happen, of course, but she manipulated her way into that position. Yeah, she's a manipulator and a liar, and I can't stand her.
If you get Steven Spielberg's and
George Lucas,
if you get Steven Spielberg's coffee, you will run Star Wars. If you babysit Steven Spielberg's kids, you get to run the DC universe. I wonder what the car washer got. Is that Paramount? Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what Alex Kurtzman was. Maybe he was washing Steven Spielberg's cars. Who was the pool boy though? Wonder what happened to the pool boy.
Yeah.
Kate Capshaw knows. Bear Nerd Fun is a
different kind of story.
That's a different kind of story. Okay, wow. Bear Nerd Fun, thank you for joining the proto molecule level. welcome. Oh my God, I just forgot the saying. The work continues, or what was it? Candice, I'm forgetting. Got to keep. It's something to the effect of we have to keep working. Can't stop the work. Can't stop the work.
You can't call me out on that stuff. I can't recall that.
Oh my God, I used to. Well, yeah, brain's not a steel trap. That's okay. Digi Akuma for $5. Sure, he was part of the plan, and Hamlet didn't really die in that play. Exactly right.
I saw when we were going over the leaks, I saw the funniest comment in Reddit. Someone was like, "Oh, thank God they finally told us what happened to Palpatine. It was real cliffhanger after Return of the Jedi."
Oh my God! Just that interview where he's going.
God.
It would be kind of weird if Palpatine wasn't in the Disney trilogy. No, it wouldn't, because he was dead. Oh, what
It'd be weird at all.
It's like everyone who has a fall scene, anybody who has a death, like a fall scene death now,
not dead.
They are coming back.
Yeah,
you know who's coming back.
Not dead.
I say this all the time. When they bring exactly. Listen, if Mace Windu, all that happened was his arm got chopped off and he fell off something.
Yeah.
Darth Maul, listen, Darth freaking Maul got cut in half, fell down his shaft.
His brother Savant lost that same thing and got robotic legs. I mean, in Clone Wars. So yeah.
So he got cut in half. So Darth Maul gets cut in half. Darth Maul gets cut in half. He falls down to the thing. He rides this garbage thing to another planet, and he survives because he was angry enough. Right. So if you have that in Star Wars, which is your canon, which Dave Filoni decided to do with George Lucas's approval. So good job. When you decide to do that, you ruin death for the entire universe. Anybody can come back after that. It's just what they did with Death and Return of Superman. Death and Return of Superman ruined death in comic books.
Right.
Now everyone dies.
Just a figment of your imagination.
Exactly.
Qui-Gon Jinn, what a pussy. I mean, he just got
what the heck?
And he just died.
He just disappeared.
He got a little hole poked in him and he's died. Like, what the heck?
Fuck. Yeah. Paper cut practically.
Yeah.
Dr. Coffin Nails for $2. Ryan Cannell. When is the next EU book club again?
I think I answered it in chat, but December 7th, it should be. I will get back and verify. We'll make announcements on exactly whose channel it will be, because that might be a little up in the air. But yep, December 7th, we'll be reading The Last Command. Well, we should have been reading it already, but we'll be talking about it there.
A day that
and the next day, December 8th, just if anyone cares, Wonder Woman 1984 first trailer will be out December 8th. So be looking for some reactions on YouTube. I'm sure there will be plenty.
I'm excited to see a Wonder Woman film that's completely Patty Jenkins with Zack and Deborah Snyder not being involved at all. So we'll see how that works.
Yeah, we'll see.
Salty over there.
It's not testing very well. Well, you know what though? Jar Jar Abrams has already interfered with that. So prior to his deal, I'm telling you, this guy is he is the cinematic antichrist. So before he signed his deal, Wonder Woman and a couple of I think maybe Joker, they were supposed to Birds of Prey were supposed to be at Comic-Con. They got canceled. Wonder Woman got delayed again. Multiple reshoots, and it had, but I'm sure it's got nothing to do with Jar Jar Abrams coming on the scene. But although every time that guy comes on a scene, things get delayed, people start getting fired. There's all kind of weird licensing deals, but there's nothing to see here. He's one of the nicest guys in Hollywood, I'm sure. Telling you, he's bad. This guy, if you get rid of Jar Jar Abrams, Hollywood will be 30% better automatically by him just retiring. I don't want anything bad to happen, but go buy Epstein's Island or something. Dude.
Just go away.
Jesus. Well, if the end result is the same, I suppose,
Yeah.
You got it, dark man.
The Rookie Critic for $2. Watch 19K Fox 2 minutes review of Knives Out. Okay, I will.
100% agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Drake is $6 for $2. QuarterBlack looks like he is in the Thunderbird 65. How'd you know? Resident Alien for Australian $5. Disney Star Wars is nothing more than a big shiny key ring to jingle in front of mindless baby fandom. Not wrong. You're not wrong.
Right.
George Peter Gatus for Canadian or 5 Canadian pesos. Hail everyone. Jar Jar mentioning the Fandom Menace is a red herring, and Jar Jar is done with episode 9, but episode 9 is still being worked on by others until the 11th hour.
Yeah. We'll just see what happens.
Yeah.
We'll just wait. We'll just see what happens.
Well, I mean, considering everything's digitized now, I guess they could turn it around quick, but the problem is rendering. I mean,
it takes a long time.
Yeah.
Odin did a real good video on that, and it made a lot of sense for sure. I don't see how that could happen, but it is what it is.
Maybe it's faster now. I mean, like, it's been years since I was there, 10. So I imagine the rendering's a lot faster.
Yeah.
Christopher Arcello for $5. Just want to say happy Thanksgiving, Gary, and to the rest of you. Well, Christopher, thank you. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family. Graham Swallow for $5. Finally caught a live stream when it's live. Keep up the excellent work, Gary, and all. Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to you, Graham. SF Giants 49er, but he's in the UK for $2.29. To hear you if I drive to work, make me happy. I hope we did a good job. You think we did a good job, everybody? I think we did
great. I think we did. Honestly, I think the best.
Honestly, yeah, this has been the greatest live stream ever, to be honest with you.
Yes. 100% factual. Yes.
Yeah, that's complete fact. Would never lie to you. Usan Doolin for $1.99. Mandalorian is going to be Zori Bliss as a teen.
Oh God. I don't think so.
Zori Bliss is going to be, she'll be in the movie for what? A couple of minutes, say a couple of lines and leave. She'll be the Boba Fett of Rise of Skywalker.
No. She'll be the Captain Phasma.
Captain Phasma.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's on point.
Oh my God. They were trotting Gwendolyn Christie around like she was like actually in the movie. I remember when I first saw, I'm like, gosh, she must have like this huge part. And I kept on waiting for her to come back in The Force Awakens, and she never did. It's almost like they're superficial about this stuff.
That pissed me off so much because I was in the bad mood, right? What happened to EU? And they're like, this is going to be the first female villain in Star Wars. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? And
Get out of here with that crap.
Yeah, so I list off all these great female characters and villains that we had in the Star Wars universe.
My God.
And their own canon too. Asajj Ventress is like,
right.
I want Ventress. I would love a Ventress. Who? Okay, I'm
she's like Delta tier as far as like actual Star Wars villains go too.
But who would y'all want to play Ventress? I'm just curious.
Oh God,
who would be a good one?
Natalie Portman with her shaved head from V from Vendetta.
I was gonna say
what about Charlize Theron.
She would be cool.
Yeah.
Freaking.
She'd actually be really good. She's a good actress.
I think so. After seeing her like in Aeon Flux and other like little, I think she'd be.
I'm blanking on the name here, but the ancient one from Doctor Strange. Why can't I remember her name?
Tilda Swanson.
Tilda Swinton.
Tilda Swanson. Yeah. She's got that androgynous she's already like bald.
Yeah.
Aubrey Plaza is my favorite female actress. I cast her in everything.
There you go.
Aubrey Plaza.
You and Doomcock both, I think, right?
Yes.
I know he likes her too.
Well, in a roundabout way, he's the reason, or I'm the reason he watches Legion and The Expanse, because we had a mutual viewer at the time who bailed out on both of our channels because they didn't like our tone anymore. Viking Bitch. But I got Viking Bitch into The Expanse and she and Legion, and then she got Doomcock into him, and then she bailed on both of our channels because she didn't like our direction anymore.
What the heck?
It happens. It's all right.
Well, I didn't like the direction of Legion anymore, so
thank you.
I ended up bailing on them.
Did you? Well, I bailed on the first episode. I was done. I was
I did too. After that one phrase about the dude, cut off
25 years without
25
penis.
year.
Yep.
Yeah. I was like, okay, they went there.
I completely cut out whenever I hear stuff like that.
No, I'm Mr. Robot. Mr. Robot. Oh my God. I watched every episode. I haven't watched the last episode because it turned out to be about a bad dad. So I just stopped watching that very second.
That's such a shame.
Yep.
Gosh, so cliche, so tired, so boring. Get a new story.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So sad. And that just makes me really upset because I think fatherhood is should be such a celebrated thing, and the constant negativity drawn to it in Hollywood. I know I don't need to be going there, but it really does make me upset. It makes me very upset.
When they're doing the same thing with motherhood, like with Terminator.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
Like, what's up? It's weird, nefarious stuff like that.
Yeah,
it's not going to get any better.
Nobody wants anyone to have kids.
Well, it's the behavior as though like dads don't even matter, right? Like that they're just completely utterly replaceable. They're supplemental, right? They're cool.
equally as important. Equally as important.
Never mind every statistic that we have ever seen that lets us know how critical the involvement of a father is in a child's life. They don't really matter. Just because, facts.
Doesn't have to be the bio. Doesn't have to be the bio, but there needs to be a strong figure there. 100%.
Yeah.
Yep.
Never mind every statistic ever taken that tells you how much it wrecks a kid's life for a father to not be present. Let's just empower those women to do it on their own. And never mind how difficult that is in and of itself.
Yeah.
Right? Like let's just screw everyone because strong empowered women.
And I think there's naive people. I think there's enough naive people out there to get their cues from social stuff, like from Hollywood, where they feel like, I'm not married, but I can go ahead and do this. And, I don't need to be married. I don't need to have a man, to raise a kid and all this. And I don't need to go all into this, but I feel like there's enough times people are just, they don't realize what they're getting themselves into until they've gone and done it. And you see the repercussions.
Yeah. I don't need no man. Yeah, honey, you kind of do.
No, it's so important.
We need each other. That's why it works.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry for that tangent, but I hate hearing about the constant dissing of paternity. It's just so sad.
Yeah.
Well, and they're starting to spin stuff that's just dangerous. Like Tim Pool was all over, like telling women to travel or any person by themselves to Pakistan. Go travel solo in Pakistan. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. I'm sure. You know what?
That's so sad.
No, there's places here in the city that you can't go to by yourself. Yeah. Good God.
Yep.
Lost Jedi, 22 for $5. They don't care about continuity. Explain Aftermath and Operation Cinder and the Emperor surviving. I can't. I listened to Aftermath. It was
so bad.
It was so bad. I stopped.
I couldn't finish.
Yeah, I couldn't finish it either.
Yeah. The one time in my life that that's happened, but I was okay with it that time because it involved Chuck Wendig.
Oh my God! Here's my girl. She used to work for me at that comic shop I used to work at. Hero Chick Sarmiento, which is JJ. Hi, JJ. Hope life is good. Happy Thanksgiving to you. She says, Black Sabers matter. LOL. Happy Thanksgiving, y'all.
Thank you.
JJ rocks. One of the best employees I ever had. She was a bundle of energy, the perfect person to work in a comic shop. She loved comics. She loved talking to people. She was just happy every day. And miss your guts, JJ. Adam Wolford for $5. Hey guys, there is a YouTube channel that made CGI animated Heir to the Empire. That's my sequel trilogy. I hate when I hate what they did to Thrawn, dumb him down, and I'm sure he's talking about Rebels there.
Yeah, that is true. There is a really cool, if you just look up Heir to the Empire animated, you'll find it. It's like Angelus Draven or something. So it's a really cool thing. If you've read the books, you should go check it out. Just a fan project, really well done.
Brilliant.
I can't imagine the time it took for him to make those edits. Y'all definitely subscribe and send him some love when you find that channel. It's fantastic.
Hell yeah! If any of the Modrotics is out there, if you could find the channel and put the link in there,
I'll find it and post it.
Oh, thank you.
I would, but I'm not a mod. So.
Oh well, hang on.
Now you're about to get wrenched.
No, I wrenched QuarterBlack. I got here. Put something in the chat, Ryan. And
Don't you let him hear you, Gary.
There it is, right there. There, you are wrenched, my friend.
It's from Nathan S. Nathan S's channel.
Mary, I'll wrench you too. Hang on.
I'm already wrenched.
Are you wrenched, Mary?
Yeah,
Good.
I got it out
Yeah.
there, guys. That's
The
the
wrench
channel
club.
right there.
Boom.
I just put it up.
It's because
There
I'm
you
a
go.
whammon. It's because I'm a whammon, Ryan. Don't.
Of course. Yeah, no, I had to make him wait, Phoenix and everything, you know.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's male cleavage.
I'd have made him wait another day if it were me over that sticker.
Yeah, probably should have, huh?
That's not the one. That
It was obviously a appeal plea.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
not
the other
quite
one.
the yeah.
I know which one you're talking about. So this one's just an animated graphic novelist that I'm posting, but I'll post the other one too. I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yes.
Darth
Thank
you,
Angelus.
Candice.
The channel?
Yeah, Darth
That's just what I
Angelus.
found.
Yep.
Adam
It is.
Wolford for $5. Hey, guy. Oh, here, I already read that one. Sheep Burger for $4.99. I was titled after 7, and after the mama jokes and Mary Poppins scene, I walked out to get some half apps and certs. Best decision I've ever made. That was Sheep Burger. Oh, you walked out of The Last Jedi? Good for you. I should have. I was so freaking mad. I saw it by myself here in the shitty, and
Okay, just posted it. There you go.
thank you.
Yeah.
It was
Yep.
bad. Thank you. There was a $1 donation, but it got retracted. So was it something I said? Probably, but I'll blame Ryan. Sorry about that. Baptist 702 for $5. Star Wars fans will forgive and forget if the Disney trilogy is wiped and George Lucas builds a new trilogy from episode 6. Yeah, that would get me back on board.
I don't even need a new trilogy built. I don't need a sequel trilogy, right?
No.
I'm
I
good
agree.
with the ending that we had. Go somewhere else, do
Yep.
something else. You want to do
Yep. There's plenty of other nooks and crannies to this. Go there.
Well,
Right.
Go
I
there.
got a question.
Big galaxy.
Obi-Wan TV show. We're gonna get. Are we gonna get a baby Luke, a toddler Luke, a puberty Luke, or a teenage Luke?
I don't want Luke in it at all. I just want to, do Obi-Wan. I'm sure he'll make a cameo or something, but this really needs to not have anything to do with Luke. It needs to have to do with Obi-Wan, right? Like, I don't mind a cameo here and there, but
Yeah, I think that's what they're probably intent. So there's a book called Kenobi that I think they're gonna really rip a lot off of. That was Expanded Universe, but I do think that you have to kind of have Luke in it as a very like you said, a cameo,
Yeah.
because you have to show that that's the reason Obi-Wan is there.
Mhm.
So I do think you have to talk about it at least a little bit. I think that you'll show him. They'll probably do him like showing up there, maybe with the baby, or like overlooking those first couple weeks when Luke's a baby, and then probably have a couple time jumps, maybe, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
Because I don't think
interesting.
it's going to be something that's got a second season. It's only going to be 6 episodes. They are supposed to be hour-long episodes, but I never quite know if
Yeah,
that's
who knows?
or not.
Did they say it's only going to be 1 season and done?
They haven't said that, but I don't know if they I don't know if Ewan
I don't know how
would
they
be
could get
on-
Ewan McGregor.
Want to do more?
Does
Yeah.
anyone
I would
else-
say, yeah, probably teenage.
Does anybody else get like a little heart flutter whenever they think of Ewan McGregor back as Obi-Wan?
Yeah, then I read his comments about Birds of Prey.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah,
And you go back further and think about how he cheated on his wife, but he's talking about feminist movies.
He's so gross.
yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Ugh.
What he did was, yeah, I like the guy, and you know what? Yeah, it wasn't a very cool thing that he did at all.
No.
But he's going to tell us about feminism, guys and gals. Okay.
Yeah, he plays like this on Moulin Rouge and tries to win the hearts of all these girls that don't know anything about him, but in real life he is a total douche canoe, and I don't know, I like him at all. Anyway, sorry.
I like Obi-Wan. I really like him as Obi-Wan. though.
I did. He was great.
Yeah, I did. I liked him as
What?
Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Look,
He's great
I'm not gonna lie. I still heart flutter when I watch when Obi-Wan is on screen. I'm just sitting there going, just I can't help it. He's a ridiculously fantastic Obi-Wan, and I wish it had been on the big screen. I wish I'd been able to see it that way, but I can't wait to see Obi-Wan.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see him directed by somebody who can direct dialogue and acting. Yeah.
Yeah, if it's directed by her, I mean, she did
Yeah.
great with that last episode.
She did. But it was, I mean, like, I was happy with it too, but like, it's one episode of television, folks. Let's not, you know,
the action was
give
awesome.
her a trilogy. It's like, whoa.
Yeah. The action was awesome, especially that stormtrooper part. That's what I wanted to freaking see.
Yes.
So
the barbecued stormtrooper was my favorite.
Oh, God.
That was nice.
Sizzling in there.
Yeah. But as far as, like you said, how much dialogue is there going to be? What is this going to be about? Is Obi-Wan going to be communing with Qui-Gon? Are we going to have guest appearance from Liam Neeson? Like, there's so many things they could do with this. So
I think we might get some indication in Chapter 7. There might be. My theory is, I don't know anything about this. I don't have any confirmed leaks or anything like that. This is just me speculating. Deborah Chow's on top of Chapter 7. And if y'all recall, the last one she did, they had the major flashback. And I feel like there's going to be, again, this is the one right before the finale. I feel like we're going to get another flashback that's going to go into a bit more detail that's going to be relevant to the finale on Chapter 7. And I feel like that might be a point of convergence with the Obi-Wan series.
It better not be a flashback of him getting saved by Obi-Wan and him doing a bunch of Jedi.
I don't think he'll be saved by Obi-Wan.
Okay.
No, I think maybe Obi-Wan might be responsible for his parents'
Obi-Wan
death
shouldn't be there at that point. I thought Obi-Wan was away at that point, if we're being
probably not
true to the...
I'd like to know where we are. I haven't heard yet what planet we're on. So they must be withholding that information on purpose to be a reveal later.
They have it, right? It's some weird
something. It begins with an A.
Yeah.
Arbala 7?
Yeah, Arbala 7. Yeah.
Arbala 7, yes.
Yeah. Not Tatooine.
Not Tatooine. Ninth desert planet.
Arbala 7 is where they found
that's where they got
Baby
the
Yoda.
Baby Yoda, yeah.
That's where they found Baby Yoda. I don't think that is where Tatooine 2.0 is. I just call it Tatooine 2.0.
3.0.
Yeah,
3.0, yeah.
Yeah. Roger Fleming for $4.99. Copa, corporate lobbyist, Disney, etc., to eliminate the enemies. That's a theory that's out there that I fully believe. Loquacious Primate was talking about that.
I am going to have to scoot, hon. I've still got to get a video shot for
tomorrow's
Thanksgiving.
Yes, we're almost done, but you
have a wonderful Thanksgiving, Mary.
Happy Thanksgiving, Mary.
Candice, you're so lovely. And so thank you so much for having me on, Gary. I'm so excited. Thank you so much for bringing me on.
Of course, anytime. We'll get you back on soon. Thanks for coming on last minute.
Absolutely.
Nice meeting you.
Pleasure. Candice, Garrett, wonderful to meet you. Gary, you're amazing as always. Ryan, what's up? Bye.
Plug your channel, Mary.
Sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
Had a brain fart. Hi, guys. I am Mary B. I am the mistress of mayhem, disruptor of the narrative, and official whamming card holder. You can find me over on my channel, Merry Mayhem, where I talk about newsy news stuff on the weekdays and on the weekends. I generally have a little bit of fun. So yeah, come subscribe to me. Growing really fast. I am less than 200 subscribers away from 5,000. So
woo. Nice.
Golly, awesome. Girl, you flying up there. Yeah. Better watch out, Gary.
Hey, good. Come and get it. Take the pressure off me.
I mean, it's crazy. Like the trajectory is like insane right now with a lot of Fandom Menace. Congratulations.
It's all growing pretty fast. It's pretty. You're doing well too, Candice, and Ryan. Inexplicably is doing well.
Candice is gonna pass me pretty soon. I feel like. So
I'm almost 3K.
So.
Almost.
Yeah.
Very nice.
You guys all got there faster than I did. Believe me. It took me forever to get that first 1,000.
Well, thanks to you and others like you that keep supporting everybody else. This is a wonderful effort. The fandom is truly a fandom, and we pull everybody up. We bring everyone up, and it's a community that isn't reality, but it's our little reality here, and I love it.
It's fun.
We have each other, and that notion that we rise together is it's been completely proven to me at this point. We've taken and look, you paved the way for us. People like you and people like Mecca, you paved this way for us to make progress and to be able to get up there. And so, we're doing whatever we can to pay it back into the community ourselves, because we just love you guys so much. It's been amazing. So, yeah.
We love you guys too. And it's a we thing. So, you know what? If you want to do a channel, you're thinking about it, don't get talked out of it. Do it. Start it as a hobby. It's a lot of fun.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can even have your bed, do it on your bed and have your headboard be your background for a while. It's fine. People will miss it, believe it or not.
Hold on, I have to.
You were better when the headboard wasn't back there.
I swear, I keep people telling me
You've
you need
changed.
to like just do some live streams with a headboard. I'm like, come on, it's so uncomfortable sitting on your bed.
Hold on, I've got this in here somewhere. I will show everybody what you're talking about before I.
That's okay. If they don't know, they can go to my channel.
I moved
to
my
find out.
bookcase. I didn't hear the end of it.
There you go.
So.
There it is.
Bam!
Oh, I miss it.
There it
I
is.
miss my bed right now.
Bam, guys!
There it is.
I miss my bed.
So lovely, isn't it? So, yeah. So, thank you guys so much for having me on. I really appreciate it. And hey, Gary, have a happy holiday. And
You too. Happy
talk to
Thanksgiving.
So, all right, bye.
Hi,
guys.
Mary.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
All right, we're gonna wrap things. We got a few more super chats. We're gonna wrap things up.
Good.
We got post mortem 666 59 Swedish crowns. The first screening of episode 9 will be a live edit experience. It's gonna be amazing. That's gonna be an amazing night of YouTube. That is gonna be one hell.
It's gonna be great.
I mean, F the movie. It's gonna be a great night of YouTube.
It's gonna be like the Super Bowl.
It will
It's gonna
be.
be so good. I'm gonna have like 5 screens just watching different streams, watching at the same time. I'm gonna be like Ozymandias at the end of
Yes.
Watchmen, just watching the streams.
Well, unless
there's
there's
gonna be
somebody
another- There's going to be another dead upload day that's all like this undercover op by Disney, right? On the day Rise of Skywalker
Yeah,
comes out,
right.
It's going to be this grassroots movement. And dead
That'd be
upload
hilarious.
day.
That'd be hilarious.
Ryan,
Oh,
you and
yeah.
I will get the last reviews in because we're on the West Coast. So
That's true. Well,
Yeah.
listen, I'm not going to see it. I am going to find a way to see it from my home. And, whatever quality copy I have, that's what I'll get.
I might find that way as well.
I got a free ticket, so I'm going that way.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do
Nice.
a little meetup and see if we can see it together. Nicholas Horton for $2 and movie adaptation of Dark Disciple.
That's a Disney canon book with Asajj Ventress and Quinlan Voss that takes place during the Clone Wars. So
Is it good?
I've never read it. It's Disney canon.
Okay, you're like Disney canon. I love that.
It's
It
garbage
didn't
stuff.
count, so yeah, it's not in my life.
But those are 2 popular characters. So I know there were a lot of people that enjoyed it because it was those characters. So.
Java Bean for Australian $2.99 says, Gary, your articulation of the situation is spot on. Why? Thank you. Sometimes the articulation works and sometimes it doesn't. It's a little
Wise beyond your years.
Yeah. That's a lot of years. Maybe 51. Maybe 51. No, maybe like 30. Gordon
Hey,
Hawkins.
Gavin McInnes is 50. He's not holding back either. It's all good.
He's spry.
Gavin. I love Gavin.
He's a wacky
do.
guy.
He is a wacky
Get
guy,
off my
isn't he?
lawn.
Yes. It sucks that he kind of disappeared when he got
Yeah.
taken off of Twitter and stuff, but
It-
there's ways to
don't
find
know.
him. I like it when
What are you gonna do?
I like it when Crowder has him on. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah,
He's
that
always
was
fun.
fantastic. A week ago, that was
He
wonderful.
usually creeps us out, so it's good.
I liked him when he was on Anthony Cumia's network. That was great.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
He's now on Free Speech. Free Speech.
Yes, with
Dot
what's her
TV.
name? With the little girl. What's her name? Soph. Have you seen Soph?
I love Soph.
Oh,
Oh my
she's
gosh.
crazy. She's so.
I got introduced to her on
Yes.
a show that's not allowed on YouTube anymore. That's how I got introduced to her. And she is the complete opposite of what she's the definition. She's actually woke, right? The real definition of woke. She's awesome. And I'm pretty sure she's been yeeted from YouTube, but or she's completely demonetized. But I'm sure you can find her on BitChute.
She's with Gavin now. Yeah, she left BitChute and went to Free Speech.
Oh, completely. Okay.
Yeah, because she put out a video that God damn. Such a young girl too. It's crazy. Okay, so Wakasashi is a new member at the proto-molecule level, and we are almost done. No, Gordon Hawkins for 432. We're starting a filmmaking company, right? Sure. We need funding, though. We need funding.
Yeah, lots of money.
Lots and lots of money.
Lots of the monies.
I'm trying to just fund a shop that is going to be my mug club. I'm going to start my mug club, which will be Nerdrotic merch.
It's a good plan. It works.
And toys. Yeah, thank you. I'll need it because
they'll keep you on the air.
I predict, based on no information, that in a couple of years it'll be almost impossible for independent creators to make money on YouTube. Hopefully that's wrong, but it just seems like the government has got they got their in now. Yeah. So
I think by doing that, they're going to force what's already started to happen, and that's other platforms to come into play and become large. All these these huge live streams that have been around for years and years and years, Crowder included, branching off into their own, their own like channels that they've created off of YouTube, and it's just going to get worse and worse and more competitive because of stuff like this. So let it happen. That I think it's fine. I think it's fine. Yeah. I think it's going to be a course collision at some point, and they're not going to like where it leads if that's the choice to make. So
I'll just find a new place. It's the internet. Before YouTube, there was like many other websites. So
yeah.
There'll be something after YouTube.
Exactly. And
and we don't all have to go to Hollywood or to New York or to DC to do filming. Anyone who's doing live stream shows and becomes really popular can do it wherever they are. Saves in a ton of costs and makes it much more feasible for really talented people to get together and have channels together that people want to come see. So I love it. I love it. Let it happen.
It's going to take, I think it's going to take someone really rich that cares a lot about it, getting something started up, because the YouTube has the infrastructure and they have all this money that they can sink into YouTube, because YouTube they don't really make money here. It operates
negative dollars.
It operates at a deficit, but
that shows you how insanely stupid they are. The fact that they're losing money on this is
they're using it as a
they need to have
tool.
a YouTube underground. Someone needs to make a YouTube underground, and that would be huge. Like basically same thing, but I know infrastructure and all that, but just basically
something that can
label it like that.
Yeah, label it that way, and something that can mirror your uploads to YouTube. So whenever you go down on YouTube, it's just like right over here. You know where to go.
Yep. The hardware and the bandwidth and everything required to actually do a live stream in 720p 30 frames a second is absolutely astronomical with like a 10-second delay. It's gonna, that's why I think it's gonna take someone like an Elon Musk or somebody like that who has a crap ton of money and thinks it's important enough to do it.
Might have to start with a small amount of people that you bring on initially, and then have a wait list for more creators to come on and create interest that way, as you're able to grow. So I don't know. I just see lots of opportunity there.
There is. If you're good at this, you're entertaining people. You can do it somewhere else. You might have to work that hard again to get the following, because not everybody's going to follow you.
Yeah, but that's the hard part.
Like, it takes talent. It takes something to be able to live stream and connect with people. I don't know if it's
like owning a comic book shop or something at some point.
Anybody can do that. But Vicious Shear says YouTube's not a real job. Just saying. And I'm not going to argue with it. I don't know what a real job is. Like, Tesla was a real job for me, but I'm glad I'm not doing it. So I'm going to enjoy this ride as long as I can. But it's not going to be just YouTube, hopefully, if things work out. If they don't, then I tried. But the tax man says it's a real job, though. That's the thing.
I was going to say, the people that are able to do YouTube as their job are incredibly fortunate. And I wish that could be me. But
it will be.
Yeah, as much as
it will be.
As soon as I monetize, best believe I'm writing all of this stuff off. That you can believe it.
Startup
so that's about as close to job as going to be.
Costs. Oh my God. The best thing about it, and I learned this from the comic shop, is how much you can write off as research. Every Blu-ray, every movie, every streaming service, absolutely everything, all the travel, research. Startup costs. That's why I bought a couple computers. Startup costs. Yes, and I did own a comic store. We'll leave it at that. Tom's
what time
like,
is
yeah,
it?
it's late.
Time again.
Yeah, it's 10:15
hours
here.
fly by here.
So, guys, plug your channel. We'll start with Ryan.
What's going on, guys? I'm Ryan Kinnell with RK Outpost. You can come to me. I talk about Star Wars. I specifically talk about all the stuff you see behind me here that we've mentioned several times, the Star Wars Expanded Universe, because that's a way better story than the stuff we're getting from Disney Star Wars right now. I also talk about comics, DC. I love Zack Snyder and Zack Snyder's DCU, but that's not all I talk about. So come check me out. Subscribe. I'll drop my link right here. Please. Everyone's welcome. Even trolls are welcome. So for those of you in chat,
He encourages them.
Yes.
Candice, plug your channel, please.
Hi, y'all. I am Candice, aka Geeky Candi, and I have a channel. I have a Facebook, I have an Instagram, and I have a Twitter. It's all at Geeky Candi, so easy to find, hard to miss. And yeah, I talk lots of Mandalorian right now. Got a lot of research going on. In fact, I'm out of town right now, but I am catching up on a lot of stuff, including Obi-Wan stuff too. So I'm starting to dig deep in that as well. I'm very excited with the direction now that we got a glimpse into who the director is. One of the main directors are Deborah Chow from the last chapter of The Mandalorian. I think we've got some good stuff ahead. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, come check me out. I also play lots of video games, and I'd love to chat with you live. So hope to see you soon.
Brilliant. And QuarterBlack Garrett, you have a channel.
I do have a channel. And it's got over 1,000 subscribers, thanks to you, because I came on and I was racing Gerald from the show, and I got over 1,000. So if you like me, you can go sub there, and eventually I might start making videos. I was thinking about it. I got this nice little setup here, so I might start making videos.
Yes.
So you can find me on Twitter. I'm on Twitter and Instagram. Same down right here, right there. And, I say stuff, and sometimes it's offensive, but,
Boom.
Deal with it.
I just dropped QuarterBlack's link in chat. So
Thank you.
Subscribe to him.
Thank you.
Please.
Being a good Modrotic, Ryan.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I
you got that wrench, and now you're using it.
Yes,
using it.
I have the responsibility now. I intend to, keep it sacred. So
nice.
You better be just as accountable whenever I start doing live streams, Ryan. We're just kidding.
I'll try.
We'll see. We'll see.
I'm scared to do live streams because I don't have mods, so it'll be fun. We'll see what happens.
I'll come in and mod. Yeah, just let me know when you're going to do it. I'll come in and mod.
It's a gaming stream,
right,
though, Gary. You can't watch those.
Oh, I pay attention to the chat then.
I
won't be paying attention to the game. I'll listen to what she says, but the game's like I fall asleep. Original Star Wars fan for $2. You should all do one epic live stream on the night of the Rise of Skywalker. If it was like the Hangouts days and we can get like 20 people in here, that would be great. I would love that for a couple hours. Just get everybody.
That would be awesome.
I'll see.
The anti-viewing party. Anti-viewing party.
There is a possibility this could happen. And I will get back to you all on this.
I want to, yes.
Antitrust right here.
Antitrust. I like that. Chris Stanley for $5. Great stream, Gary. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving to you, Chris. One more super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Nettled Nerds for $5. Hail, Gary and fam. You guys rock. I can't wait to see Social Justice Wars, The Rise of Skywalker, just for the space horsies. LOL. Dear God, why? I don't know why.
But who's going to clean up after them?
Yes. Lando. Because I think it's his daughter, right? Isn't that supposed to be Lando's daughter?
Yeah.
No,
Jana. Yeah.
Good God.
God.
All right. Well, everybody in the chat, all the Modrotics, thank you very much. I want you all to have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Candice and Ryan and Garrett and Jeremy from earlier and Ripa, who didn't show up, but we love you, man.
Friday, maybe. You should get him on Friday.
Yeah, we'll get him on Friday. Friday's going to be lit. We got that umbrella guy coming on too.
And Mandalorian.
Yes.
Whoa,
yes.
man.
The Mandalorian.
Too excited.
So thank you all the Modrotics. Thank you, Candice, Garrett, and Ryan. And tomorrow we are Doomcock and I are doing a Thanksgiving Exozone at 1:30 p.m. Pacific time right here.
Nice.
Oh,
And
that's
then,
exciting.
Nice.
yes, so we can talk about UFOs and turkey. And what else? Oh, and then Thursday night, I'm going to read letters finally. It's going to be Toxic Mailbag on Nerdrotic
Wow.
Live. Yes. So lots of live streaming. I don't know if I'm going to make any videos, but thank you very much. Well, as a matter of fact, I'm looking at an article I probably will make a video on. So thank you again. You guys are brilliant. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and we will see you in the next video.
Peace.